screen. And hello, welcome back. Today, our intrepid party will be starting with a new member that was introduced at the end of last time. As the tragic death of Taylor Boaz at the end of the last session had left the party short-handed. Luckily, they ran into a survivor of a previous mission here. And who wants to describe how that event... You know what? No, I'm not going to say who. I'm going to volunteer someone because it's somebody's fault. So, Captain, can you tell us how this all came about?
Are you insinuating that somehow this was my fault?
I don't think it was insinuated. I think I outright said it.
Well, so aside from us starting our mission to come investigate this sector for a kill code to kill the weapon of mass destruction that we may or may not have helped release upon the galaxy, we ran into some nuclear mines on the way down because we weren't really paying attention while we were driving our spaceship down here. But we survived that because we're awesome. And then we decided to flip this tower here with our tiny spaceship, and then we crashed. Then we decided to assault this bunker here in a loud, obnoxious, straight through the middle path, and the giant robot and his little drones decided that they were bigger than us. Fun fact, they were. And we ran away to the other spaceship, the derelict spaceship, at which point we ended up taking on a few heavily armored combat drones, and they, how to put this in a politically correct manner, had their way with Aiden, and then
I think that sums it up nicely.
While watching Aiden and the robot have some fun, Taylor intervened to save Aiden with his last hit point of life. But the robot wasn't done with playtime, and he had his way with Taylor as well. On the other side, Luca and I took care of our robot. We didn't exactly feel like being robot play toys, so we decided to kill our robot. And then we turned to kill the other one and realized that, holy crap, both Aiden and Taylor were pretty much dead, and through some miraculous rolling, we sort of duct tape, patched up, healed, and breathed a little bit of life into Taylor and a little bit more life into Aiden, where we ran onto the derelict spaceship, where we met Frank and searched for medical supplies in an attempt to save their lives so that we could continue our mission. And reattempt to take the big fortress over here to find this kill code. And in that search for medical supplies, we diligently searched what we believe is the commanding officer of the ship and obtained a very shiny and spiffy challenge coin, and inserted that into a computer, where when the computer asked if I wanted to save Taylor's life, I absolutely clicked yes, and it said, "Are you sure you want to?" Of course I wanted to save Taylor's life, so I pushed yes again. Fun fact, it wasn't saving his life, it was the self-destruct system. And then I ran like a crazy madman past everybody else. And in a very dramatic, epic moment, our new friend Frank here forced Luca to drop his brother. Not me, not my fault. Forced Luca to drop his brother as the ship exploded, and we all ended where we stand now. All I was trying to do was save Taylor's life.
Really? Did you read all the terms and conditions?
I would like to point out that some of those facts were almost certainly correct. I'd love to hear what Frank's interpretation of his part of that was.
I've been on this ship for months, stuck here. These guys show up on a crashed shuttle, and they start fucking all sorts of shit up. But could be my way off this fucking place. So, I was trying to save Luca. We were carrying his brother between us, and frankly, we weren't going to make it. So I had to make the choice, and I pushed Taylor's body out of Luca's hands. Luca might be mad at me, but I saved him.
I believe that Luca's probably mad at you. But I also think that Luca might eventually realize that you saved his life. But we won't know until Kizik shows up. And that will not be in tonight's session. So Luke is going to be very quietly brooding. I put this challenge coin, this shiny cat challenge coin you talked about. It's in your inventory now, there, Brennan.
Yeah. Shiny challenge.
Oh, he gets to keep it?
Yeah, I ripped it back out of the computer.
And he rolled for it.
Oh my gosh.
You saved that, but not... Okay.
Yeah, no.
I know. I was just about to say that. I'm like, my gosh.
Gentlemen, do you understand the term priorities?
Whoa.
I feel like I'm going to get lynched today.
Okay.
Mutiny. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm Frank's brand new. I can't mutiny it right now.
I'm not strong enough to, so it's all good.
Frank's like, not my captain, but before I join the crew, we may have to have a talk. All right, so you guys find yourself, you're next to the unicycle of mass destruction, and you have a limited amount of lifespan left. You did blow up this ship, that's why this is now a crater. And you know you have to get into that facility to find said kill code. And you know you need a way off the planet. I believe those are your current obstacles. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, Aiden is almost dead.
Yep.
Yeah, we have limited oxygen too.
Yeah,
Luckily, one thing we did do on the ship before I tried to save Taylor's life unsuccessfully is we refilled our air tanks. So we have 12 hours.
Okay, 12
That's
hours.
Okay, 12.
And down here we've got the Centurions of Mass Destruction that blew up our ship. Well, didn't actually blow up our ship, but they're big and mean and we don't want to go that way. We also know that up here by this pillar, there's something that was shooting at our ship. And in our cool maneuver to figure out what that is, that's what we hit the tower here.
I'd like
to
point out to the stream audience that all they can see here are question marks. You guys can see what those are, but they can't.
So, the way I see it is, one, we don't have time to do much more medically for Aiden. Luca's kind of mad and angry. Realistically, I'm hiding behind humor that I just obliterated our most reliable chance of actually functionally doing this mission. So the way I see it, we have a couple options. We can go straight back over here to the front door of this place, and see what we can do to come up with a plan to get past the one giant death robot and the 4 little gun drone robots. Cons to that are we have the 2-bit death robots over here in the lake and question mark over here on the other side. So we can either scout to the northeast here. Well, I guess it may not be northeast, depends on how you're looking at the map. Over here, kind of see what that is, and then come to make sure they're not following in behind us, or maybe we can use something, find out something over there, and then make our entrance into the structure. Anybody else have any opinions?
We should head to the bunker. From what I remember from the Vargar that went in there and got the shit before, was I here with them before?
You were there. They tried the frontal assault method, which is why it looks so best.
Died.
Yeah, then some of them did. So at first, the bots did not attack them. They weren't perceived as a threat. Then they started taking stuff out of the facility, and the bots started alerting. And then they shot at the bots, and then carnage ensued. So at very, very first, the bots weren't hostile. And then once the bots became hostile, all the Centurions activated and started shooting their shuttles down. And it was just mass exodus, and you were left behind in that chaos.
And they're still in killbot mode?
Yeah, they appear to still... So they think of it from a video game perspective. They had like blue sweeping sensor lines, and now they have red sweeping sensor lines. Because,
Roger.
You know, obviously that's very telltale.
Yes.
I forgot to bring my cardboard box.
Right? I was gonna say Luke is gonna say we need something to distract him, but not the bike.
Do we have any other options of something to distract them?
You guys could probably figure something out if you wanted to.
What about these little puppies?
The robot dogs, you blew them up.
Yep.
You could try to kludge some together. They're all dead. They would be trying to kill you if they were not dead.
Fair.
These right here are power stations, like big old batteries.
Yeah. All of this would have almost certainly been destroyed. Like it was right underneath the loading dock of the ramp of the ship. So you guys hid behind a rock, and this is just all devastation.
I might be making a reach here, but I bet there might be air inside the bunker, at least breathable. Maybe not, but it's our best chance, so we should head that way.
Roger, we can think of a plan as we head that way.
So you guys are going to hop on the unicycle of mass destruction and its makeshift sledge and head in that direction?
Yes.
Who's driving this fucking crazy contraption?
Luke is already sitting on it. He's very possessive of this thing.
Is he now?
Yeah, that's one of the few things he said at the end of the last episode, and he's mentioned it twice while we've been talking in between sessions.
Good. Yeah, between sessions, I was like, "What's gonna happen with that?" All right. Frank grabs a box and opens it up, and there's like a modular rifle that he puts together, and he gets on the sledge with his big ass sniper rifle out.
Okay. And it is very much a Hitman thing where he opens up a like very professional looking static damped case, and he snaps parts of a sniper rifle that's in like 4 or 5 parts together. It's a pretty quality piece of kit, and since you guys are from a military background, you would recognize it as such.
Nice gun.
Everything's nice and threaded. Yeah, thank you. Her name is oh shit, I haven't actually thought of a name.
Oh, that's
Millie.
a great name.
Right?
her name is Millie.
Is it? Oh shit! I haven't actually thought of her name, Millie, or is it
No,
Millie?
it's just Millie. Yep, just Millie.
And that's her government name. She just likes to be called Millie.
Right.
Got it. Got it. All right. Well, on our way over here, like.
Okay, just let me know how far you guys want to go. But remember, this is all very notional. It's, so you can just describe things to me as you move yourselves across the board.
Right here and all these bumpy things that have cover for us.
There are some of these depressions that, they're not really tall hills, but there's enough that if you scooch low, you can stay under cover and get a little bit closer. If you get close to this crater in the middle, I think I told you last time, it's some kind of impact crater. You're not sure if it was a starship or orbital ordnance or something. It might have been a wreck. It might have been someone trying to blow the bunker up with a big round and they just missed.
Let's take a look at the... Well, Does Millie have a good view?
Well, she does, but I also have some binoculars, and I will hand them to you, Mr. Captain. They're electronic binoculars, and they're from... Here, let me try to find them.
I believe I have a card for him around here somewhere that you guys were sharing.
There was a card. I think I have him.
It's already here.
Yeah, the card's sitting in front of me.
Which means he already has
deal.
this set because he was holding the last set. So here's your card for that.
Sweet.
Now we have 2 sets of binoculars.
Well, then I'll hand them to Aiden, so he can glass it too, and we'll all look down range. You want a recon check? I'm looking for...
Yeah, I do
enemies.
I do want a recon check.
I love rolling. Here we go. No whammies. Fuck yeah. I got an 11.
Yes, I'm back.
You rolled
Got
snake
a
eyes.
natural 4. If you remember last game, it was all 4s, but you had the things that'll get it up to a 6. Let me push the self-destruct button and I'll roll a 14 though.
You love your self-destruct buttons.
I do.
I am looking for my stack of... And it's not this one. I'm looking for my stack of cards because in here should be a sniper rifle card of some variety. Is that it? That is it. There we go.
Have the PDF. Please.
I know, but I'm here, so might as well try to give you cards. I've got both of your primary guns. I didn't do the hatchet. I forgot about that. Okay. So you guys...
You got a hatchet?
All of you should have a hatchet.
Yeah, you have one too.
Yeah, but can you do a flying backflip hatchet attack?
I could if I was drinking.
Okay. So while I'm looking through my binoculars,
It's worth noting that if any of you do pull that hatchet out, it is a GIA specific piece of kit.
Oh shit! You don't know that I have that hatchet. I didn't pull it out.
Yeah.
you just told me you had a hatchet.
Yeah.
Damn it! No, I don't have the hatchet.
So
I didn't pull my hatchet out, but you definitely told me you had a hatchet.
I mean, he can have a hatchet and not have shown it to you, and it wouldn't raise any alarms.
Fair.
Honestly, you're gonna find picks and hatchets and shit amongst climbing gear anyway, so it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Unless he pulls it out and shivs somebody in the head with it, and you get a real close look at it. Because
I realized that it's...
Yeah, realize that it's hyper steel. It's a very rare material.
That it's the same hatchet that we have?
Yes. So if you look in the GIA gear kit that I originally gave you, there's no card for it, but it is listed as something you guys have. And it's like AP something, which is what the hypersteel gives it. It's like AP 5, so it's a super sharp material. But let's loop back to... So I got a successful glass from Frank. Aiden was successful as well?
Yeah, rolled a 9. Or not rolled a 9, but added up to a 9.
I rolled for Luca. He rolled a 10. Okay, so you guys are able to track and see that the medium gun drones, the floating drones that do the scans, they go around in a pattern in the courtyard. Occasionally they come look out a little bit, like they poke their head out, and they go back in. The Centurion seems to be in shutdown power reserve mode. Looking closely, you realize that the Centurion does not have a recharge station in the courtyard. So the Centurion might have to go all the way back inside in order to recharge. The gun drones, on the other hand, when they're low on battery, they go into these 2 boxes up on the top. And there appears to be some sort of rooftop access up there.
Hey guys, what do you see?
Well, these gun drones are making regular patrols, and one just came up off the roof, so they've got some sort of recharge pod up there. The Centurion, though, is in, like, sleep mode. And I don't see a way that it could recharge, so it's probably just preserving power while it's out here. What do you guys think? We might be maybe even get in to the bunker from the roof of that building out there. Anybody have climbing gear or anything?
Does the building have any is it smooth on the sides, or is there any is it something that we'd have to have climbing gear to go to, or is it something we could, between the group of us, get somebody on the roof and pull each other up, anything like that?
So you could scrabble up it with teamwork. It's not completely smooth. Same thing with the walls. Okay. The walls are old and beaten up enough that there's craters and shit missing, so you could climb the walls. But without climbing gear, it will be a difficult climb. With that said, this planet is at roughly Earth gravity, but it's at like 0.91% Earth gravity, so you have a slight advantage.
You guys want to get closer?
Can we, without bringing the unicycle mesh structure up closer, can we take a look and look around at the pile of debris and carnage here? Like, see if anything looks functional. Like, maybe we could, use as a decoy or a distraction or something along those lines. Because if we can pull the gun drones out and the Centurion and run the Centurion out of power, then if we can run it in circles long enough to run it out of power, which I have no idea how long that would take, then maybe we have an advantage of getting in to the roof. Or the other option, go ahead.
Looking at the rubble, because I'm pointing out that you specifically asked about a specific area, and then you asked about a thing that was a broader spectrum. So you said, is there anything in this rubble area that could help you distract these drones? And my answer is going to be, unless you want to line up a sniper rifle shot on an explodey barrel inside the courtyard, there is nothing else there that could possibly cause any distraction. It's basically just smashed gate and dead bodies.
Roger.
Any leftover weapons or artillery or anything like that on the dead bodies?
If you got close enough to discern that information, you would be well within the weapons range of the drones.
Copy.
Why don't you said something earlier about the pups back there? We could clutch something together just to kind of rabbit around and maybe distract the med drones, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough to get out of there. It's definitely going to get popped.
Well, all right, so I'll give you a freebie because Luca's not here, so Luca can pipe up and say, any of y'all seen Jurassic Park? And he pulls out an emergency kit that all of you should have, a flare. And he's like, what if we rig one of these to go off in 3 minutes, and we leave it somewhere where they're going to see it?
That's a pretty good distraction right there. And then, of course, he shoots me daggers because I shouldn't be talking to him.
You can't tell because his visor is polarized. Nobody wants to see Luca's mascara run.
So just having a flare, I don't know that a flare by itself is going to draw them out. And if it does draw them out, once they realize it's a flare, we won't have a lot of time, I don't think. Now, if we draw them out to a flare and then maybe blow something up, then they'll go chase some rabbits until they find out what it is, and they'll give us a little more time and potentially hurt one of them.
What is the drone's optical sensor range?
I would love to answer that question if I knew how your character would find that out.
I was asking the expert over there, but he is not talking to me anymore because I made him drop his brother's body. So, we could also, like he said, remotely just detonate the flare. I think it's a pretty good idea, even though he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Alternatively, we could set something up and then shoot it. like an explosion, but I don't have anything explosive with me.
Can I make an explosives roll and see if there's anything in the crater or anywhere around us that I can use as some sort of base for an explosion?
Yes, you can. I already know that there is absolutely something nearby you could use. Well, I don't know about nearby, but something you could use to do it.
The hell bomb on the landscape.
No. You guys have a shuttle. It's wrecked, but there's parts, and while one of the tanks is completely ruptured and the engine is ripped open, there's another tank full of fuel, and I mean, there's parts. It's a shuttle.
It physically pained me when you were like, well, you've got a shuttle to rip apart. I'm like, oh no.
I got a 9.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely, if you went to the shuttle, you could kludge together a bomb or two, or a D6 worth, depending on how big you wanted to make them.
What do you guys think? We draw them out with a flare, and we keep them out there with some remotely detonated
Look,
bombs?
I think maybe we just need to get past them this one time, right? So we just lure them out and sneak in. Don't even need to really hurt them. I mean, it's up to you. It's your shuttle, buddy.
My question I have is, from what you told us, is when the Vargar were leaving, they were being attacked. And what scares me is opening that door to leave and having nowhere to go except stare down that Centurion.
Yeah, I get that.
Are we still operating on I assume we're operating on the idea that this is the only way in?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean,
Again.
this again, I mean, I'm trying to look over here, and there's a lot of dead bodies over here. I don't know if there's another way in around here, because, I mean, if we could set a distraction, like, someplace, like, right here, and then, you know, if we have rope or something, hop a wall, or maybe there's another damaged portion of the wall that we could check into, or something like that, that while they're looking this direction, we're off in this direction. Or maybe we set the bomb up in this direction, toss it over the wall, and have them look that way while we run through the wall. But it's something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. We should climb the wall. We should lead them out with the flare. Climb the wall on the other side, and we can just sneak up in. As my father used to say, if you can't beat them, you change the rules.
So, say that again, what we want to do? We want to
Distract them with the flare, just like Lucas said, so they come running out. And then we climb over the wall on that side. And we sneak over the top.
Does anybody have
where?
rope at all?
It's
Nope.
still not fixing the problem of when we come out, which is the captain's major problem.
Nor is it fixing the fact to get to this corner of the wall, we have to walk by these question marks.
Why don't we get a look at what's over there?
We want to check out the question marks first?
They are
binoculars.
They are a considerable distance away.
All right, maybe
for what you're thinking of. I'm not completely ruling it out, but it is like, remember, this is notional, and yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a mile between this wall and this outcropping.
So maybe there's not even an issue. We could just
how about this? Maybe we create some type of a smoke screen. I don't know if these things can actually see through smoke, but maybe if we set a fire, we have some fuel, we could set a fire on this outpost here somehow. And if there's smoke, then we could all sneak in through the smoke, maybe. But if these things are mechanical, they probably have ability to see through smoke. I'm just not positive about that portion.
Smoke would be a good distraction too. We got a flare. That can start the fire. We can put a bunch of rubber tires on top of it or something like that.
Unit makes a big distraction. a giant bomb and we just blow a hole in the wall over here, so we make ourselves another entrance point.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could blow a hole over here. That'll definitely be a distraction. They'll look at that. We kind of pop in through the front door.
So I have a question from understanding the map. If this is a mile between the wall and the is this like 3 miles from the hole in the wall to the front of the bunker?
No. No, remember, it's notional. I can't. I can't make it to scale, or you won't be able to see anything.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, you can't tell for sure the exact distance. Actually, I'm betting. Well, no, you're not at the right angle. But I'm betting that those electro binoculars have some sort of range finding capability. So it's probably a good 100-yard sprint though from this hole to this door, and it's probably just as wide, this courtyard area. So it's a pretty big area, and it's probably about between a quarter and a half of that between the closest point of this wall to come the short way that you guys are talking about here. I'm trying to find the contents of your survival kits because obviously, there we go. Okay, so your standard kits are going to have a couple of different things in them. First off, because these are vac suit survival kits, they have duct tape in them for the specific purpose of patching your suit. Okay? They've got 3 different types of flares. Okay? One of them is a 0 oxygen flare. One is a launcher flare, and one is a stick that you just like shove in the ground and pull a cord and it goes off. Okay. You also have a backup set of like emergency clothes in case you get out of the suit. Water bottles, basic 1 day's worth of almost edible like pill style rations, and a multi-tool.
Multi-tool.
Yeah. It's basically a Leatherman. And this is in a pouch that's pretty much on every vac suit. The vac suit has other tools on it that are useful in 0G that won't be as useful here, but you may want to use them. The thing I'm thinking of is you have these little anchor cords. It's like microfilament wire that in 0G is plenty to tether you to something. But in a climbing scenario, you'd probably garrote your limb off if you tried to use it, because it's like fishing line or piano wire. So it's really thin but high tensile. And of course you've got mag boots and all that stuff. Once again, not as useful, but you do have them. And while you guys are doing your little MacGyver thinking and talking, I'm gonna take a quick bio. I'll be right back.
Roger. So we've thrown out a bunch of ideas. What do we want to do?
I mean, if you're up for sacrificing the shuttle, I think that's probably our best bet at doing major damage.
I mean, we say sacrifice the shuttle. We don't have our mechanic anymore. Fuel tank's ruptured and the engine's toast. Like, are we sacrificing it, or are we just being sentimental and not wanting to admit that it's already toast?
That's probably closer to the truth.
Fair
So
enough.
you can use that. We can use that as an explosive. It's a good idea.
And then do we want to use that to try to do damage to them, or do we want to try and do damage to?
I think we use the flares as a distraction and then explode them with like a hidden trap. I like that idea.
So the other thing potentially is if we go around back, right, where there's almost no space between the bunker and the building, blow a hole in this part of the wall. Gives us a couple of options. If we get a big enough hole, maybe we rupture the building and we can go right into the building. Or maybe, depending on this distance in between the two, it'll give us some rubble to climb up onto the wall to jump over on top of the building. Those are just random thoughts.
He also said that we all have the anchor cords, which single sucks, but there's 5 of us. So 5 of those cords all together with, duct tape helping. That's pretty much, we could do a climbing rope. I don't know how long it would be. But we do have access to stuff inside the shuttle, too. Inside the launch.
Just keep in mind, too, I know we were talking about like the narrow space behind the wall in this building over here. Remember how we met these ships earlier and they could actually go very high and still have us in range? So, I mean, they're kind of not, an XY coordinate type thing. They're definitely something that could definitely go in the Z direction and go high on us.
True.
I kind of want to try to shoot one of the drones with the sniper rifle.
or we can do the other one. We can sneak into places, draw them out to a flare, into an ambush where we have well-placed explosives, and draw them out where we're sitting close enough that our weapons are actually effective, and we fight it out. I don't know that that's the smartest idea. The little drones I think we could take. The Centurion,
I don't know. We weren't doing too good with the other things before, so I don't know.
We didn't go to the other things before because we couldn't. They could outrange us, and we never actually shot at them.
No, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, we shot the autocannon at them.
The Centurion, I think you're right. We could just run it out of battery, or like really cripple it so that it has to stay outside the wall, and then we're good to come out. Right? Like, that's the ultimate goal, is to get all of these things out permanently. So instead of taking out the Centurion and like really fighting it, running it out of battery is an option. I think that's a slam dunk idea.
The only downfall to that is I have zero idea how long that's going to take, and we only have 12 hours, and some of that 12 hours is already gone.
All true. It's risk. But we can go to the ship launch and get not any supplies, but we can get some supplies that we can try to put this together with. I think ultimately, like, IED on the side of the road, flare to get them all out. They get around the flare, they're checking out the flare, and we try to ambush the drones as much as we can. That'll get the Centurion marching out, and then have that IED go up.
We could also do something. We could get something. We can get that bomb and put it on some wheels and a little motor, and have the thing just kind of drive right in the middle of this thing and just blow up in between all of them.
Hello? Did I go deaf?
Nope. I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
You there?
Ghost is connecting, according to the thingy.
Yep. We lost him.
Ghost.
Yeah.
And he's probably disconnected from this. Oh,
hello.
What?
Hello.
Got kicked.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's starting to come back. We can hear you in Discord a little bit now.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, what I was mentioning is that maybe we could, we can get a bomb on wheels, right? Get the fuel tank or whatever, get some wheels and a small little motor, and drive this little robot thing, and just, kind of set it up where it just cruises itself in there, and the bomb goes off and blows up right in the middle of all these guys.
Do we have anything wheeled other than the unicycle of mass destruction?
I don't know. We can kind of take a look at our busted up ship and see what we have and see if there's anything that we could use.
I mean, you'd have to fabricate the wheels if you were going to do
Sure.
that.
Okay, decision time. Like, let's make it hightail it over to the ship or to the launch and see what we have. Because
Sounds good.
time's a wasting.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead and Everybody give me a luck roll. You can spend up to 3 player points to increase it.
A luck roll, huh? Oh gosh.
Yep. Remember, luck is a straight stat, so it's a d6 plus however many player points you want to put in it.
1d6 or 2d6?
Sorry, 2d6. It's 2d6.
And then it's a minus the DM, right?
No, so I've explained this mechanic a couple of times. The way that you have the way that we're doing it is it's a straight roll, and I allow you to add up to 3 luck points, so player points. If you want to increase it, you need an 8 to pass. So if you just roll above an 8, then you're good. And if you roll below an 8, then you can spend player points to increase it. Also, if you want more effect, like if you roll a passing score, but you want to really pass, you can still add those 3. They're your player points to spend.
I got a 12.
Got a 9.
Okay. So, what I'm judging that as, assuming that Ghost is coming back, which it looks like he's logged in Tabletop Simulator again. There we go. So you two are going to be able to find the things you're looking for. So Thodubs was looking for wheels and pulleys and stuff, and I'm going to say that, actually, I'm going to give him one better. There's a little hover car hand truck thing. It's for moving cargo, like in the actual shuttle, and it's the size of a hand truck, and you hit a button and it just floats above the ground. It's got a limited battery, of course, but it is, a frictionless way to do what you're talking about doing. For your effect, Ronan, I'm going to say that you find, at a bare minimum, and you can add a little bit more to this, but you find not just the parts you need to make a bomb, but extra life support oxygen containers. And you can tap off what's left of the shuttle's life support and give each of you an extra canister. So I believe we were saying each canister was 6 hours, so you already had 1 spare. Now they're not,
yes, sir.
They're not super small, so you are going to have to carry them. But an extra 6 hours of air might be worth having. Or you might want to just leave them here and know that they're here.
Well, we could put those on the unicycle.
You could do that too.
Have them with us.
I'm going to say that they're 1 kilogram a piece. I think I said that last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, sir, you did.
Hey, Ghost is back.
Ghost is back.
Frank's going to be really concerned seeing the state of this shuttle.
He should be. So let me describe a little bit what the shuttle looks like. This shuttle has a hole ripped in the side where the over here. So where this cargo door is supposed to be on the side is completely gone. There's a gouge where it hit the tower. The tower's actually leaned all the way over, which he would notice is different because you guys can now see the tower. That tower wasn't bent over when Frank was here last time. And basically the entire side, including the right hand or starboard side fuel tank, that's completely gashed open and all the fuel is leaked out.
Well, looks like we're all going to need a ride off of this rock.
Yes, sir.
That's, all right, well, what'd you guys find? You found some stuff?
You can also
Found
do
some extra air tanks. Oh, go ahead.
You can also do a luck roll, Ghost.
Oh, now that I'm back.
Yeah.
I got a 7, and I'm going to add a player point.
You can add 1 just to make it a bare minimum pass. What are you looking for? I should ask you that before the luck roll.
I am looking... Shit, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something to help me make a ghillie suit out of.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking, like, I want to blend in with the rocks and stuff. And that's how I want to set up my sniper shots when I'm taking out these drones.
Okay. You find a couple of tarps and some adhesive. And you realize that you can probably take the adhesive, spray it on the tarps, and then throw, because it's mostly loose dirt on this surface, and make basically a rock blanket.
Okay. Yep. Throw a bunch of dust and pebbles. Excellent. Are we all settled here? Everybody got what they needed?
Yes, sir.
I believe so. Have we decided what we want to do with all of it?
Well,
All right.
I wanted to know how big of a bomb Rona wanted to make, because earlier I heard him say something about blowing apart the whole part of the wall, and in order to do that, I'm guessing you would need all of the fuel left in the tank, which is going to be a sizable amount of fuel.
So, final answer: are we sending the bomb in to blow them all up where they stand, or are we drawing them out and ambushing them, or are we drawing them out and blowing up what we can while sneaking around and going over a wall?
Do we feel we would be able to get them clustered enough around the bomb to be able to have it get an effect, or do we feel that they would just scatter away from something, that they didn't know what it was?
Or destroy it before they get to it. That's probably
Right.
the best bet.
So, if we send it in, we're going to blow them up or not blow them up all in one place. If we don't get them all, then they're still standing in our way to get in. If we draw them out and ambush them, well, then we're in a fight where we're already injured and we don't know what's inside the building. So I don't know that we should necessarily get into a fight right now, but it's an option depending on how well we set it up. So if we're going to ambush them, I'm going to use multiple smaller explosives, or if we're just doing one big explosion to keep them out there while we jump the wall. The problem with jumping the wall, as we talked earlier, is what happens when we leave, or do we just worry about that when we leave?
Luke is going to point out that the unicycle of mass destruction has an autocannon, and while it is not the best vehicle to be buzzing around in right now, you could set it up like a stationary turret if you did an ambush, and you could shoot things with it. Just don't forget you got that resource.
How fast is that thing? Could that thing actually be like a deterrent, something to distraction for us? Also, I mean, somebody jump on the thing and
we wouldn't need to hit autopilots. Like, we can set it to go drive in circles.
Yeah, Luke
cool. So I mean,
Luke is going to be very upset if you guys start talking about sacrificing the unicycle. Also, it's worth noting that you guys have welded a sledge to the back. So while it is a very fast vehicle normally, right now it is very slow because you have welded a sledge to the back of it.
Well, here's the thing. I seem to remember that when we encountered these guys before, they just kind of came over and checked us out, and then once we decided to actually engage, that's when they started shooting back at us.
Yes.
So maybe if we had like the unicycle just kind of cruising around, not really engaging anything, they'd go out to inspect, which would require them to go through this small cavity, which means that we could, of course, have the bomb here in this area. So, of course, when they fly over it to get to investigate, we detonate the bomb then. That way we can guarantee that they'd be sitting here when the bomb goes off. So they're somewhat clustered.
You're saying put the bomb in between the hole here?
Yeah, that was just one option, right? Put the bomb somewhere in here. And then
get it there.
That would be very difficult for us to get that close and plant an explosive without being seen.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
So, I guess the real question is, are we distracting him or are we ambushing him? Or a little bit of both?
Yeah, I was thinking both. I mean, let's take both best of both worlds or whatever. Let's put a flare out.
Yep.
All the drones are going to fly out. This is my assumption, right? Frank's saying this with a southern draw. But the drones are going to be way faster than the Centurion. The Centurion might not even power up for the drones to come and check out a flare. So once the drones come out, we have to actually actively try to hunt these drones. And then they're going to call the Centurion out. He's going to march out, and then you put the IED somewhere in this path, right? And really try to just slam that Centurion with it. And as soon as that thing goes off, we need to hightail it in from wherever we are. And we're going to sneak in. And hopefully, between damage and the battery, that Centurion is just so fucked that when we come back out, maybe we can deal with it.
Okay. Do we put the unicycle in this, and instead of using your ghillie suit tarp for you, because you're gonna have to run when we make our break, use the ghillie suit tarp to hide the autocannon, like the unicycle, so we can use that as it comes near. Because like to actively get the drones, like we've got to be close to them when they we got to be relatively close to the flare. For those of us without Millie.
Okay, yeah, the autocannon. I'll put a tarp over that. I'll roll it around. I got 2 tarps, so yeah, we can do that.
Okay. And then we'll have to split. The autocannon and Luca on this side. The Millie and Frank over here, or somewhere where you can get a good shot on the whole thing, because we have to keep them boxed in, because otherwise they're going to outrange us. And Aiden has a very valid point. If they want to, they can outrange us by just going up. So, our initial attack has to be spot on, and it has to hit.
Can I ask a silly question? Maybe it's not a silly question. Is there anywhere on the map that I have an aim of the roof of this building with the sniper rifle?
If you want to climb, like these rocks, this rock pillar. I mean, it's a long ass distance away, but your rifle specifically says that it has, I think it's extreme range.
It's 500 is what is written on the range.
Yeah, 500 meters is not as long as I would expect it to have been. Still a long distance. Let me look something up real quick.
If we can take out the recharger stations on the roof, those drones will just drop out of the sky. Like we'll just wait them out. We got more tanks now. I don't know how long they last.
We have 18 hours total.
Maybe that's not long enough. We can stress the drones out though, and that'll fuck them up even more. Just attrition them to death.
I'd also like to point out that you're talking about a precision weapon versus a piece of heavy machinery. I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't do it with enough bullets, but I'm going to start asking questions like, how much ammo are you carrying? Because,
right.
It's a precision scalpel. That's a big piece of equipment. Also, you don't know that the charging, you keep referring to these boxes as though all the components you're thinking of are in that, and I'm wondering if I didn't describe this accurately enough, but I did, if you listen back, specifically say that these are access points into the building. You may shoot this whole thing full of holes, and the place where they're charging may be deep within inside.
Okay.
So that's not something you've seen. You don't know that there's actual charging equipment in there. You just know that they're going through there to get charged.
I see. Okay. I misunderstood.
Those are splinter cell roof vents, is what those are.
Okay. I misunderstood. It's crazy ask.
Mm-hmm. But you can get an angle on the roof if you want to do some Mission Impossible 2 style cliff climbing.
Nah, I don't think that's necessary.
All right. Well, that's what we're going with. So one big bomb right in the center to get the Centurion.
I'd like to know how big of a bomb, when you say big bomb, because you've said a few things that have cocked the GM's eyebrow, as far as how big you want the bomb to be. I'm not positive you can do what you want, but could you tell me how big you want the bomb to be in relation to something I understand? Are we talking about a landmine size bomb, or are we talking about a 500 kilogram or 500 pound, Mark 82 bomb you drop from a plane? How big of a bomb are we actually talking?
Bigger than a landmine, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make a anything the size of a 500-pound bomb or anything like that.
Okay. Because when you're talking about blowing the wall apart, like at a minimum, you'd need 1 or 2 of those.
That depends on how old and.
I'm just telling you, like your character looking at that wall wouldn't even have to roll for it. You would know you're not getting through that wall with less than that.
Got it.
You can take that to the bank.
Aye.
So
yeah, no landmine size.
Well, it also is a matter of how many do you want to make. So if you make them, the smaller you make them, the more of them you can make.
We're going with the biggest one, singular one that I can make.
Okay. You've already rolled a demolitions roll for me to figure out that you can do it.
Yes, sir.
You got a 9 on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have a card for it, but in the Central Supply Catalog on page 159, or 160 if the rulebook counts the cover, there's a list of different types of explosives. I'm going to count this as a complex chemical charge, but I'm not going to make you do the delay for it. But all the other effects of it will be the same, so that makes it a 4D damage. Each of them weighs 1 kilogram. It has an AP of 15 and a blast of 9. And you can build 1d6 of these.
Alrighty. Come on, not a 1. A 2. It wasn't a 1.
Okay.
Alright, we got 2 bombs.
All right, set up your battle plan. We're gonna call this area your battle area. Can I? That's what I was gonna do. Thank you, Ghost.
Okay, so we were talking flare way out. So someone's gonna have to go fly over there, or go real fast and put a flare. And then I think Captain said Millie and Frank on this side.
Yep.
The auto cannon and Luca will be set up over here. Both of us will, with tarps. And then you want to put Big Bada Boom somewhere in here?
I got 2 of them.
Okay.
So we got a couple options. We can put them in series. The problem is once we start shooting, as they come out, they may do this, or we can put them in parallel and overlap the center. And if they walk through center, get them with both at the same time. But also cover a little bit of the sides.
You're the demolitions expert. What do you think?
I think sneaking up and putting them, I think I'll go in parallel. That looks good, right? That, in the hope to get the big guy as he's closer and drawing out. Yep. And I will go. So we'll
How
get
big are
the flare.
these bombs? I mean, this size, weight.
They're 1 kilogram.
Copy.
There's a picture of what it looks like. It's kind of like a... Oh, that's a plastic explosive. That isn't what you're looking for. So it's basically a fuel tank. It's a portable fuel tank that has some electronics jerry-rigged to it so that it can be set on a timer. I'll allow you to configure it for remote detonation, although in reality, remote detonation for liquid hydrogen could definitely be a bullet if you wanted it to be.
Oh, that's definitely my backup plan is shooting it to make it go boom.
Too bad we don't have a big, strong magnet we can use this thing and just chuck it at one of these things and have it stick to it.
What makes you think you don't have a big, strong magnet?
You have magnet boots on your
Yeah.
exosuit.
I was saying, wouldn't that be kind of neat though if we could like put one of these that's like a 1 kilogram type thing? I mean, use that and actually chuck it. That way, it would actually stick to one of these things.
Your problem in that scenario is actually it has a 9-meter blast radius.
Mhm.
That's quite a distance to chuck a 1 kilometer device, have it stick to something, and then get out of range before it explodes.
But the other
It's a
option
cool
is
idea.
having Billy, though. That's the thing. Anyway,
No, you're talking about like doing a grease mine like they did in what was it, World War One, where they'd stick it to the side of the tank with grease.
Yeah,
World War II.
World War II.
II.
They use sticky bombs. Yeah, absolutely. But this thing has an AP of 15, and it's like it's such a huge explosion. I mean, you can try anything you want. You might be able to dive behind a rock or something. But I mean, I want you guys to make sure that I told you that page, it's 159 and that central supply, and I want you to understand how powerful this explosion is going to be before you're like, I'm just going to chuck it at them.
No, if I were to use the magnet idea, I would put the magnet on it, and I would walk away, and I would let it walk over the magnet and attach itself.
there you go.
That's also a possibility. It might step on it, but I'm pretty sure if the mech steps on it, it's going to go off.
It's gonna go boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, also, I already made the bombs. So switching the trigger mechanism.
Well, I didn't think
I mean,
he was
we
trying
can't.
to say the magnet was a trigger mechanism, were you, Thodub? You were just trying to say it as a way
No.
to attach it.
Exactly. Some way to
okay.
just make sure that we get that bomb to a target.
I have extra glue.
I was about
for my
to say,
tarps.
you have adhesive and duct tape. You could also literally make it a sticky bomb.
And we got Frank. Frank, I'm sure, knows a lot about baling wire and duct tape and.
No, he is not. He's not smart. He's not mechanically inclined. You got to get out of that. He's not Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
no,
at
just
all.
but duct tape and super glue. Come on.
I have a little bit of both of those things, but I can tell you more about baling the hay.
The
All
real
right, I
question
think this is a good idea.
Are we making it a sticky bomb, or are we leaving it as a landmine?
Make it just as simple as possible. KISS method. Keep it simple. Landmine
Okay,
it is.
I'm good with that. Landmine.
So
Landmine. got- Okay.
Luke is going to ask for his own clarity, and so that I, as a GM, know. You're going to set off this flare. What happens if their investigation is just a drone going out there by itself?
I'm gonna fucking shoot it.
Okay. So our plan is to shoot whatever comes out there, but we're only going to use the mines on the big thing.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Just making sure. Now, I'm on this gun, so you only want me to shoot at the big thing, or you want me to shoot at the little things?
I think as long as you can stay hidden, you should shoot at the drones too.
Okay, so here's the key, and it's going to be important, right? If one drone comes out and looks at it, and we shoot one drone, all of us shoot one drone. All of us are like, they know where we're at. So they're not going to come over this. They're going to come and engage whoever's closest outside of range. If we engage just one, we need to kill just one with just one of us. Like, one shot, make it count.
No
So
pressure.
that the rest of them come out. No pressure. And I think Frank and Millie are best equipped to do that, or it's either Frank and Millie with the power of the rifle at the right spot, or blasting the shit out of it with an autocannon. But the probability of Frank and Millie, the next set coming out without knowing where with the ghillie suit camouflage sniper is, versus knowing where the giant autocannon is. My recommendation is we take the shot with Frank and Millie, and if that doesn't work, then we open up and the fight's on. And of note, our weapons. Frank can range them. Luca can range them with the unicycle. I'm at long range with my weapon. But Aiden's got to be close to be useful in this fight.
Absolutely.
Aiden's broken.
Yeah, and I'm broken already too.
So we don't like.
You should hide.
I should probably hide, and then maybe if somebody wants to use my big gun, then hey, I can definitely lend it to you.
But I say Aiden goes back in this corner over here. So if he has, he can be the back wall. If he has to engage, he's here, and I'll be up here because we'll set everything up, and then I will crawl my happy way out here, sneaky to lay the mines, and then get back up here.
So hide in a ditch is what I'm hearing back around here. Then you were kind of pointing up there.
Yeah,
okay.
Right here.
So hide in a ditch. I'm assuming I have this in range for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can set that flare off. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you'll be the flare guy.
Okay.
I'll be the bomb guy, and
When you say in range, it is not going to be within 10 meters unless you're in range. You can run out there, set the flare, and then run back. Is what they're saying. But remember, your weapon is in essence a flamethrower, so it's super close range.
Yep. No. So that's what. So yeah, you're right. So yeah, I would basically set off the flare, and then go hide. Is kind of what I'm getting. I'm not worried about my weapon range at all. I misspoke.
I know it's just completely asinine and everything. Probably a non sequitur. Have you ever seen Willow? They do this thing where they dig under the ground, and they're hiding under the ground level, and a whole army comes out and they pop up out of the ground. It's that would be cool.
It's amazing.
It's also it's also in the new Ghost Recon game. Newer Ghost Recon game is not new. Can't remember what it's called, but you can lay down in the dirt and bury yourself in the dirt to camouflage yourself. And yes, that is a thing you can do here. It's very loose surface because this planet has died.
Yeah. There you go,
That
Aiden.
is, well, we got this.
Be a trapdoor spider.
All right, everybody, understand what we're doing?
Yep.
Time for motivational pep talk. Do good, don't die. All right, let's go.
Oh, team. All right.
You could, don't die.
That's right.
Wow.
Why you made me the captain. Motivational speaker. All right. Ready, break.
All right. I think we're ready then, right, guys?
I gotta go put the bombs down.
I'm gonna put my tarp on and go lay in the dirt over here.
Okay. So the stealth check for Frank is to see how good his ghillie or his tarp is set up. Stealth check for Holmes is to see how well he's concealed the bombs. Stealth check for Luca is to see how good he concealed the unicycle. I need Luca's character sheet, which he has not sent me an updated version of in a while, so he's going with whatever stats he has on here. Which are pretty decent, actually.
I got a 10.
I got a 7. Can I player point that?
You're not in combat yet, I'll let you do it.
Sweet. Boop. Nope, that didn't boop. Come on, thing. Boop, there we go. Now I have an 8.
Okay. Frank, you got a 10?
Yeah, total.
In the tradition of us sharing some of the effects of the score, I'm going to say, because Luke isn't here to decide to spend a player point for himself, he's 1 point short. You have an extra point. So you can say, hey man, your unicycle isn't covered up all the way. You dig a little bit more of a ditch.
Yeah, through my scope, I look at him and I'm like, the whole fucking auto cannon's just sticking out, man. You gotta hide it. And of course, he doesn't say anything back to me because he's pissed off. But he does move the tarp.
All right. Holmes, do you want to roll another stealth check to hide yourself?
That's probably a good idea. Here we go.
I'd also like to
Well-
know what your detonation mechanism for the bombs is. Are they just on a simple radio frequency, and as soon as you send a burst over that radio frequency, they go off? Or are they on a timer, or are they impact?
They are radio frequency with a backup on impact.
Okay.
And there are both what bombs are on different radio frequencies, so I can trigger them separately.
How's your stealth check?
9.
Oh yeah, you're good. All right, I think now you're ready to do the thing.
Whenever you're ready, Aiden.
All right, so everything's placed. We're good to go. Thumbs up from everyone.
Yes, sir.
All right. Flares away. I'm running over and hiding in a ditch now.
Okay. If you want to roll your stealth check, you can.
Okay.
You guys also may want to go ahead and roll your initiatives.
Yes.
I got a 7 for stealth. Initiative is 8.
My initiative's 3.
My initiative is 11.
You guys are way better than me.
All right. I just need to put them in order.
Also not Taylor anymore.
Oh, yes, I do need to fix that too.
Hey, Frank.
Yes.
How are we doing tactics-wise? Like, you got any, like, opinions for the rest of us on what we should do?
Let me roll a tactics roll. Shit, I got a 12. It's not bad.
It's not
Military tactics.
bad. You add education to that, by the way.
That is a 1, so yeah, 12.
Okay. I was about to say, I love how you have leadership on this character too, but his social is -1, so it's a wash.
Yeah. I think
Awesome.
I got it. I
Ye-
think
ye-
first or second round.
Yeah, I think you got it back when your character was like, "Man,
Yeah.
things are going all right."
Right. And then it all shit fucking broke loose.
Okay, so I think I've got all the initiatives right, and we are going to use these. I'm going to assume though that you guys are just holding action.
Yes.
I want to spend my turn aiming.
Okay. You can spend the whole turn aiming and get up to a +3 because you can take 3 minor actions. It's minor action aim. Also, you said you got a 12 on tactics.
Yes, military tactics.
I believe that the tactics roll increases your initiatives at the beginning of the round by the
Oh,
effect
shit.
of the
Yes.
check. And that would mean that, okay, so you got a +4, so that would mean that Frank is actually at 15.
Damn.
Yeah. Aiden's at 12. Luca is at 11. And Holmes is at a grand total of 7. Which means that I need to rearrange these again.
Yeah, the baddies go
There
last.
we go.
That is true. This is so hard. I don't know how Kizik does this so quickly. It's all the practice. Frank, Aiden, Luca, Betty, Holmes. Nope, Holmes goes before baddie, because good guys, when they're tied, always go first. Okay, I think that's right. So yes, you guys absolutely have the initiative, and we'll get to fire first. Okay, so flare's been dropped. We're now in combat time. 2 of these gun drones are going to come out to investigate the flare. They are flying relatively low to the ground. I'm assuming that you guys are just holding action. Because you have the initiative, you may stop the action at any point in time and say, I want to blah. So they're going to fly.
I'm aiming at this far one from me.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No, that's silly. I'm going to aim at this one.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you want to take your whole turn to aim anyway.
I do.
Okay. So I'm going to let them get all the way up here unless someone else wants to do a thing. Luke is going to take his entire turn to aim as well. And he will aim at the closest one to him. Holmes, Aiden.
I am watching the front door.
You're watching the front door. Okay. Aiden.
I am watching the 2 that are right in front of me right now.
Okay. They both kind of orbit and scan the flare. And then they start to, once again, tell me when to stop. They start to break off and start scanning the area. Okay.
Yep. So I see this thing zooming around, and it's doing like this crazy counterclockwise orbit, and I'm going to breathe out and snap a silent shot.
You just hit that magic moment where it's the perfect shot.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your roll. You aimed 3 times, +3.
Oh my god. I rolled an 11. 14 with the +3. I have a +1 in slug. That's a 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's dex, right?
It is your dex plus your AP. Oh, well, the AP is just something I need to know.
Okay, so it's 16 total rolled, and then AP 5.
Okay. You one-shot one of these drones.
Well, that's just a hit, and then, yeah, well, it's 3D damage.
Sorry, I thought that was damage.
Yeah, sorry, so the effect is now 8, right? So 12 plus 8. 20?
Yes, sir.
20 damage.
Yeah, I'm not even going to do
AP 5.
I don't even need to do the I don't even need to do the math for that. It's this one you were aiming at?
It was, yes.
Yeah, okay, so he pops. And this one spins around and starts immediately putting that red scanner out in your direction. Let me go ahead and roll his advanced sensors.
I rack another round.
Okay. Let's see. Sensors. Recon 2. And it has intellect 9, so that's a +1 is a 9, I believe. That gives him a +3 to his roll. So he rolled a 6, +3 is a 9, so he does see you.
My harp doesn't do anything for my stealth.
Your tarp does.
So I got an 11 for my stealth.
Your
right?
tarp does do something for your stealth, and he only passed by 1. I'm gonna make it.
See if it was.
I'm gonna make
opposed.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a -2. You're right. What it should be giving him a negative DM to see you. That's the whole point of it, right? So
I would hope so. Yes.
He does have a Prius sensor, but you have to be pretty close for a Prius sensor to work. If I make it -2, I think he misses. Yeah. 6. Yeah. So he's gonna not see you. He knows the general direction the shot has come from. Because it's a near miss. All right. Initiatives. Frank has gone. Everyone else may go. Aiden's technically next.
I'm gonna hold, so if somebody wants to go in front of me.
Okay.
Does Luca want to take a shot with the autocannon?
That's up to you guys.
The captain told him not to.
That's why I'm gonna have him hold for the big guy unless he's told to do otherwise. because that's what he was told to do.
Yep. Watching, and I see that like the guy's still scanning and that isn't like zeroed in on Frank. So I'm gonna tell Luca to hold, and I'm going to hold and continue to see what's coming out of the front door.
What kind of weapon are you carrying there, Holmes?
Laser carbine.
Okay. Are you aiming down the sight at something?
Right now, no.
Okay.
I'm using my binoculars.
Okay. Alrighty, well, I'm going to roll this thing's detection again. Just to see if it does anything, and, it's going to start zipping back. You are also going to see that, the big Centurion guy does power up and start trudging out, and the other two drones flank him in like a formation. They're coming out as a unit to meet it. And we're going to go top of the round. Does anyone want to do anything?
Shoot it, Frank.
Yeah, I don't get the +3 this time, but I'm going to try to take a shot at this drone.
Can you aim?
You can aim
You have
once.
minor action.
I can do that, right? One?
Yep, you can do one. If you're not doing anything else, as far as moving, to use that minor action.
I will do that. Big money. No. Okay, so I rolled a 6 with the +1. That's a 7. I have 1 in slug with an 8, and then a 1 in dex 9 total.
Okay, give me your damage.
With the 1 effect, it is a total damage of 10, AP 5.
Oh, you are so close. Yeah, that does it. So, I'm not going to go over the exact math because I don't want to give away yet all the stats, but that is on the money. So you shoot this thing and it hits and it careens and it splashes just to the side of the explosives. It misses them narrowly.
Oof. I breathe out. Rack another round. Whew.
How many rounds left in your magazine?
3.
Frank, as they come out, just keep.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2.
As they come out, keep taking out the little ones.
And, and remember,
the big one right across the explosives.
It's an action to reload, so you have to remember to work that in.
Okay.
Unless all three of them stand over these bombs, but...
Alright, so, we're holding.
Holding.
Is anyone aiming?
I'm switching to my rifle instead of my binoculars. And aiming.
Trunch. I'm assuming you want to stop when they get to the bombs.
I do not.
Okay.
Does it look like they're coming straight down the middle?
They seem to be making a line towards the gun drone that was shot most recently. The problem that you're running into is that they're in a pretty wide formation where the gun drones have moved out and up, and they've got significant elevation now.
But the big guy's continuing to walk forward.
Yeah, I mean the big guy is super slow and trungy, but he's making a beeline for the gun drone that crashed right next to the bombs.
Okay. I'm going to hold for the moment with intention of, as he gets to the center, to get if I can get him right here between both of them and hit both of them at the same time, is what I want to do. And Luca, as soon as both bombs go up, like open up with the autocannon. And Frank, keep taking out the little guys, and as soon as I'm done with setting off the bombs, then we'll have the autocannon focus on the big guy, and I'll join in on shooting the little guys, and potentially, if I can, get behind the Centurion and see if I can do damage to its back. potentially, maybe, depending on what the bombs do. But that's my plan.
Okay. The Centurion is going to walk up to the gun drone and scan it. And it's going to be scanning it for a hot minute, where it's basically standing in your... It's in the prime area where it could be blown up by both of them.
I'm going to trigger them both.
Okay, so what I need you to do, because you don't have to roll it to hit for this. As I understand it, your demolitions roll is basically your to hit. You've already rolled that. So what you do need to do is roll your damage. It's
4D AP 15.
It's 4D twice, because you're using both, right?
Yes, sir.
AP 15. If this doesn't kill it, you guys are probably screwed.
Right.
First roll is 13.
Okay.
Second roll is 20 for a total of 33 at AP 15.
Holy shit, dude.
Okay, so AP 15 gets through its armor, and it has 32 hit points. So your bombs go off, and it's fully lit, and it starts trudging through the fire, and for a second, you guys are like, what the actual fuck? And then it sort of topples over forward. But it almost walked through that explosion.
You know what almost means, right? It didn't. I was really worried about that because I am absolutely the closest to that thing. I was very worried.
It was coming to stomp you.
Yeah.
Its grabber arms are actually probably more dangerous than its feet. Let's see. That was Holmes. Luca hasn't gone. Luca was aiming at the big guy, so he's not going to get any aim bonuses. Aiden hasn't gone. And did Frank's last shot, that was the beginning of this round, or was it the last round?
That was last round.
Okay, so Frank still needs to go, and you should go first.
All right, so I'm going to use my aim one. And then, oh shit, I should not have rolled 3 of those. I rolled an 8 total. Does that hit?
8 always hits. Well, not always, but yes, an 8 hits.
Yeah. Okay. For 9 damage, AP 5.
Uh, 9 damage, AP 5. Okay, so that is not going to kill it, I don't think. No, it does not. Okay, so you hit it. It's damaged. It's winged. It's trailing like electronic blue smoke. Luca opens up with his. He's got 9. Minus 3 is 6. Plus 2 is 8 on the nose. And he hits with the autocannon on the other one.
Nice.
It's auto 3. He gets to roll 3 times. He probably won't need it to. Oh, it's got fire control, so it's DM plus 2. So he's actually going to hit with an effective plus 2. And it does 60 damage. I have one too few dice IRL, so I'm going to use digital dice. I mean, I've got more dice over there. I'm just too lazy to go get them. It's 24 damage. What AP is the autocannon? It's not AP at all. Not that it matters. 24 damage is probably way too much. Let's see here. So... yeah, no. So it evaporates the small drone on this side. It just goes away. The Unicycle of Mass Destruction's autocannon is quite a scary tool and seems to work best as a turret. You guys will remember you had a lot of trouble using it while driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. That resolves Luca's turn, Frank's turn, and Holmes' turn. Aiden.
Given the fact that I have no weapon over here to do anything, I'm actually gonna move closer to everybody else.
Okay.
I'm actually just gonna stay hidden though. I'm gonna readjust myself to get closer, but I'm gonna make sure I'm still hidden as well.
Okay, go ahead and give me your stealth roll.
Okay. So stealth is 11.
All right. You find a nice gully where you don't have to pop your head up too much, and you move towards Frank's position. And I'm gonna give the drone a one, Hail Mary shot to try to. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't see anyone. So that brings us to the top of the round. I wonder who's gonna get it first.
I'm gonna try.
Frank.
Yep.
And that's your last round.
It is, and I fucking rolled snake eyes.
You find out that this sniper rifle, when it runs completely out, makes almost an M1 Garand-esque sound.
Oh no!
And it's, as a convenience feature, it automatically ejects the magazine, which clatters to the ground in front of you. And the drone turns toward you. It sees you now, but it's not going to get to shoot yet.
Well, as my father used to say, an empty blaster is a fancy club. And I'm going to hold the sniper rifle like I'm going to baseball bat. It's not going to work.
Let's see if someone can save you. Aiden?
So I see how this thing actually just recognized him. I'm going to pick up a rock and I'm going to chuck it the opposite direction.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have a weapon that can shoot that thing.
I don't have a weapon to shoot that thing.
You have a rock.
Yeah, he's going to try to throw a rock to make it think there's more stuff elsewhere. To be clear, it does see Frank, but this might still work. Go ahead. I'm just trying to figure out what you should roll to do it. I think deception is the correct roll here.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me a deception roll, but you do not have to use your social stat. You can use intellect if you want.
All right, so we're going deception then.
You got this.
Deception 1. So we got a 6. You said we're using what stat was I using again? I didn't have to use social. I heard that.
Yeah, use intellect. Because you're seeing it, observing its behavior, and trying to manipulate that.
Gotcha. Well, I got an 8 even.
That's still a pass. So the drone turns towards where the rock clattered, and its scanner pops out, and it appears to be like, okay, there must be something over there. You have successfully distracted it slightly.
Holy shit!
Right? I'm gonna make Luca hold till last so that the players get an opportunity to do this. Holmes, it's your turn.
Aim and shoot.
Okay, do it.
How far away from me is it?
You're using a laser carbine?
Yep. My range is 150.
Oh, I'm not worried about your range. It actually makes a difference for how it reacts. So yeah, just go. You need an 8 to pass.
I didn't roll snake eyes.
Okay. Did you roll an 8 or higher?
I'm getting there. So 3 plus 2 energy, plus 1 aim, plus 1 dexterity, and I still only got a 7.
You can't use a player point.
Nope. It's in combat. When
your bonuses are better than your roll.
All right. So laser carbine, it snaps around. It knows, it knows exactly where Holmes is because it can see in that spectrum. And it has a computer brain that can just calculate trajectories. So it turns around and its gun swivels and locks on to the end of your barrel.
Game on.
Yeah, it knows where you're at. Luca was going to try it again with the autocannon.
Yeah, come on, Luca.
Ooh, no, he ain't going to do it this time.
No, come on, Luca, you got this.
No, he just spent all last round aiming.
With his negatives, he still only has a 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's not actually rated to use this weapon. But he does fire it, which might distract it a little bit. And that brings us to the bad guy's turn.
Yes. It's my turn to die.
He rolls that's a 9. Okay, so that's a hit with a +1.
Yay.
His weapon is a stagger laser rifle, which is 5D +3.
Yes.
Auto 3.
Oh my god.
Say goodnight.
Um,
Can I throw another rock?
that's 10.
Wasn't the round for
14,
all of us to roll snake eyes
15.
in threes.
That's 17 damage. Okay.
On the first roll?
So he's not going to use full auto. That's what I'm going to give you for the auto cannon going off, is he's going to snapshot.
Okay. Said 17?
Yes, sir.
Yay! Armor. Okay, so I take 4 to endurance. Ow.
It's top of the round. Frank has to take an action to reload, so he's not going to be able to save the day right this second unless he wants to do something else.
I don't have anything else that will reach out and touch them, so I'm going to spend my whole action reloading.
You can
another 4-round mech.
You may still spend your minor action aiming.
Okay, so I'll have one next round, right?
Yep.
10-4.
Aiden, you want to throw another rock?
Not at this time. No, it looks like the damage has been done at this particular moment in time.
I mean, as far as you guys can tell, the little hole that Holmes was hiding in is now the rocks are red hot from the laser fire.
We don't know if he's alive or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna keep my head down. I'm gonna make sure I am down and out of sight, and I'm not gonna make a peep.
Okay, Holmes.
I'm gonna save my rock for later.
I'm gonna shoot him after aiming.
That's a good idea.
This time I'm gonna get a 14.
Okay, well you needed a 13, so good job. So you scrap this thing with a laser shot.
Nice.
I'm going to assume that you guys are doing that thing where you're staring down each other's sniper scopes, and you just get that moment, and then you put it right in its electronic sensor that's targeting you, and then it craps to the ground.
Ammo minus. Boop, boop.
So, while your laser carbine is a very impressive weapon, it's worth noting that this thing has a laser-specific armor. That means that it has more armor against your weapon than it did against theirs. Aiden could have hypothetically done more damage if he'd thrown the rock at it than your laser carbine could do. That's why I asked about if you were using the laser carbine.
I made myself a slingshot.
Well, I got lucky.
How big are these drones?
These drones are small dog, large cat size. And the Centurion is the size of a rhinoceros standing up on its hind legs. I mean, that Centurion's not anymore. It's missing kneecaps.
It's just, I had that in my mind's eye for a couple seconds, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, that's a direct quote from the book. The largest size you can make that particular model of robot is the size of a rhinoceros or a small elephant.
Can, I guess I'm going to tend to Holmes. I'm going to rush over there and check on him.
I'm good.
You get over there and he's toasty, but alive.
It's a little hot out here.
And there's glass right there from the... Sheesh. Well, your explosives worked great. Took out that Centurion right nice.
Your shooting was spot on too. So was Luca's.
Yeah, Luca did great.
Lucas rolled up with the unicycle. He's got that grapple arm out and is like, I'm gonna salvage me a drone.
Back.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty, let's go clear this fort thing.
Sounds good.
You guys come into the courtyard. As you're coming into the courtyard, you're walking over top of dozens of Vargar and human bodies in breached vac suits. It's a pretty graphic scene. Frank saw it happen live, so he's aware it's here. Now is the time where you were like earlier, hey, is there anything on that you could search the corpses if you really wanted to now? Also, this courtyard appears to be some sort of logistical staging area. So they're really like ancient-esque crates that are just covered in lunar soil from the shifting winds on this abandoned planet.
I would like to actually. Oh, sorry. I would like to actually search some corpses, looking for an extra weapon, something I could use.
Okay. Go ahead, Ghost.
I was going to point out the Alpha Vargar that I would have been with. He probably had a weapon or something. I was going to suggest giving one to Aiden.
All right. So I just want you guys to understand, it was not a matter of availability. It was weight.
Yep.
Right.
The cryojet's very heavy. You pick up another weapon, you are absolutely going to be overweight.
Now the cryojet. Let's see. What was the weight on the cryo?
It's
14?
Yeah, it's 14 kilograms. Your encumbrance of a capability is your your endurance and your strength added together. That is the total number of kilograms you can carry total. That includes your armor and everything else.
That's fine. I won't worry about another weapon. I was saying even then I could probably put the cryojet on top of the unicycle, but no big deal. Don't worry about it.
I mean, you can if you want to ditch. That was kind of my point. Is if you switch weapons, just remember that you're either going to be encumbered, which basically means you take negatives to everything, or you have to abandon the cryojet and leave it on the vehicle.
That's what I figured. I'll take the cryojet. Well, now that we've actually getting ready to go in a building, I'll probably be better in close quarters. So I'll keep the cryojet for now.
Did the Alpha Vargar have a grenade on him?
Roll a perception check. Oh, I need cards for grenades.
I got a 9.
Okay. He had one grenade on him. Let me roll something real quick. He has a trank gas grenade on him. It is on page 158 of the Central Supply Catalog. Need to make cards for all those.
Roger. I boop his. No, he's in an exosuit. I can't boop his snoot. I give him pats on his head, knowing that he would hate it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can boop his snoot because his snoot has been somewhat evaporated along with the face mask.
Ooh, no.
It's a skeletal snoot.
That's so sad. He treated me like shit. Fuck that Vargar. All right. Anyway, you guys want to head inside?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay, you guys come up to the front door. There's some sort of control panel to the left. You know, Frank, that the Vargar and the salvage teams never made it to this door. So this is uncharted territory.
Well, you guys, we should probably look around. Maybe. What's this control panel doohickey, Holmes? You looking at it?
I'm looking, but
Okay.
last time I was in charge of pushing buttons.
Oh yeah.
Well, just like last time, you don't understand the language you're looking at, but I will give you for free that you know it's not the same language as the ship you were on. The symbology is completely different. These are almost hieroglyphic in nature.
Hey, Captain, if I may make a suggestion, please keep the challenge coin in your pocket. Do not put it into anything.
Ooh, tempting.
Okay, just
I'll
don't.
listen. I'll listen to you for now.
Okay, all right, okay, that's fine. Appreciate it.
Especially since it's obviously not the same technology, and the challenge coin wouldn't be compatible here.
That's fine. I just see him trying to just shove it in places that look like it might fit.
Holmes is just holding it and like, where is the slot?
Right, I'm telling you.
Put the money in to play the game.
What's that thing?
Which thing?
This thing right here on the side of the building.
You're gonna have to go over and have a look at it. It's probably gonna require a mechanics check.
I'm gonna go over and look at this thing while you're looking at that thing.
Okay. This thing is a really high tech. It looks like a circuit panel, but that's all you're going to be able to determine without doing mechanics checks.
I got snake eyes again. Holy shit.
You touch it.
I touched it.
You touch it, and Aiden's coming around the corner trying to figure out what you're doing, and he watches as Frank is thrown back up against this wall from a electrical short that hits so hard that like it basically explodes. And the shockwave throws Frank.
What the heck, Frank? What did you do?
When I open my mouth, smoke comes out.
He's got black fingernails.
It's only 2 damage, so it doesn't technically get through the vac suit.
The fillings in his teeth are smoking.
Damn. That was hot. Oh, I'm trying to get up. As my father used to say, it's the unknown variables that'll get you. Don't touch nothing that you don't know. It hurt. Holmes, be careful what you touch.
I learned that one already.
You gonna try to hit a button?
I was gonna say Aiden hasn't really done anything yet, other than watch you fry yourself.
He helped me up.
That was pretty crazy. So you said that panel's actually gone. The thing said it blew up?
No, it didn't blow up. That would have killed all of you.
Gotcha.
It just, I mean, have you ever watched anyone stick a screwdriver in something they weren't supposed to?
I try not to.
I mean, everyone tries not to, well, except for Ghost. Ghost does it all the time.
What, watch people or just stick screwdrivers in things? Because I've learned my lesson.
That second one, I watched you learn that lesson.
Well, I'd like to use my mechanics roll on. I like to take a closer look at this thing and see what it actually is. So
that's a very good idea. So
that's the zapper.
Yeah,
I already know what that is.
You should roll that mechanics check. It's an 8 to pass.
And I have a 7 with a player point that goes to an 8.
Okay. So even though the technology is completely foreign to you, electricity still works the same way now as it did back when this thing was built. So you are able to figure out that this is a series of relays that are basically designed to switch over manual or automatic control of various different functions. The problem is you can't read any of the writing. So all you know is that some of these breakers are connected, and some of these breakers are not connected. In theory, connecting some of the breakers or unconnecting certain breakers would turn on or off different functionalities.
That could be good and it could be bad all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, found this breaker panel thing over here. Still have no idea what it says, but you can definitely see that some of the breakers are engaged and some are not. So, I mean, I'm assuming if we flip breakers around, that would turn on or off things that are in this area. What do you guys think?
I think that thing broke me. I don't want to. I don't want to touch it again. To be
Well, we're
honest.
going to make sure Frank is actually the one that flips the breakers, though, because
Negative.
no. Okay.
Nope.
It's worth pointing out that the one that he touched will be all melted and shit, and that it will no longer be functioning. And if you very carefully look around, you might see something that no longer is working.
Oh. So
Those are perception checks.
So is it still my turn then? I mean, can I look around, or does somebody else need to do it?
Everybody can do it. We're not in combat time.
Copy that. All right, I'm going to look around too.
Frank got an 8.
All right,
Got a 12.
Frank's definitely going to see it. Aiden's going to see it.
And I look for. I got 13.
Okay, everybody sees it. So there were a set of green lights above the door, and they all have clicked off. And now that they've clicked off, you sort of look at their emitters and realize they were probably some sort of scanner that is no longer functioning.
Well, that's good.
What's good? You see these lights? They clicked off. Maybe we could try to get this door open now. I don't. Did anybody try the door before?
I think Captain's over there still trying to figure out where to put that challenge coin. I'm kind of concerned about him.
I'm looking for if there's any sort of like. You said there are hieroglyphics on the panel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's
like,
obviously an advanced language, but the way the words are formed look more picturesque than the way we think of letters.
Pictographs.
Yeah.
So I want to look at both the breaker panel and the door controls to see if maybe like I can see similar symbols, maybe to see if there's one that like I can make the reasonable assumption is the door.
Give me just a straight intelligence check. You can add any skill you want to it that is relative. Comms, electronics, computers, if you have any kind of language. I'll let you use investigate if you want.
I will use investigate. That works good. Which gives me, you said intellect?
Yep. It's intellect because you can't be educated on something like this that existed millions of years ago.
Yep. So intellect with investigate gives me an 11.
Okay. There are definitely matching symbols. And so the two matching symbols you see, one of them almost looks like a starburst. And the other looks like two rectangles with like an arrow between the two of them.
Okay, guys, there's these two symbols that are, look to be on both the door and this breaker panel. I got a starburst, and I got the two rectangles with an arrow. Last time I touched anything like this, bad things happened.
On the breaker panel, by the way, both of these are on.
And both of these things are on. Like, I really think we should switch them off. Because they think they potentially are the controls for the door. Or at least the power for the door.
Well, I'm kind of dumb, but when I look at a starburst, it kind of looks like an explosion to me. And then when I look at two rectangles, that might be doors. So maybe the rectangle one first?
I kind of agree with Frank there. Hey, Luca, come over here and flip these breakers.
I don't, and this is just my opinion, but I don't know that people normally rig explosives to doors. And when they do, they usually don't label that there's explosives on doors. So I don't know that it's an explosive. It could be power to the door, and the other one could be opening the door. I don't know.
Could be some type of defensive mechanism too.
I would like to think.
But if it's turning it off, that's a good thing. So
We could also try climbing up on the roof here.
I'm game for flipping a breaker. Which breaker do you guys want me to flip?
I have full faith and confidence in your ability to make a command decision. You've got
All right.
this.
All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. We're gonna. What do you guys think? Should we flip a breaker or should we just go to the roof?
Flip breaker.
Yeah, flip
Breaker?
a breaker.
Breaker. All right. All right. We're flipping the breaker. The one with the 2 rectangles and the arrow.
Okay. You flip it and it cuts off. Because of where Frank is standing, he might hear a couple of light thuds at the door.
Uh-oh.
I also want to point out that they just said, I trust you to make a command decision. And you were like, yeah, totally, I could do that. Then you turn around and said, what do you guys want to do?
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, I noticed.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to walk up to the door,
Okay.
and I'm going to see if there's a seam in the middle of it.
There is a seam in the middle of it. You'd have to get a knife or something to pry it open.
All right. I got
You got a multi-tool.
yeah, I got that Leatherman. I'm going to stick it in there.
Okay.
I'm going to get my gun up and point it at the door.
Yeah, I'm getting mine ready too.
So
And by gun, I mean flamethrower.
Frank is able to get the door pried open enough to get his fingers in there, and it is giving as you push on it. It is going to be an athletics roll to push this thing open, and it is going to be 1d times 10 minutes, -1 for each person who helps to get it open. But it is manually allowing you to push it open.
All right, so I roll 1d per
So
minute.
I want to,
Look at the panel.
I want to look at the panel. I also want Aiden to, once you recognize whether there's anything in there that you need to use your cryojet on, help him open the door.
Got that.
Give me a perception roll there, Holmes.
$13?
Okay. On the screen where the hieroglyph of what you guys assume the door button is, it is now blinking yellow.
Hey guys, the 2 rectangles with the arrow pictures blinking yellow now that we're moving something on the door. I think we found the door button.
What was it before? Was it green?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I've seen iris valves close and cut people in half, so don't hit the button while I've got my fingers in here, please.
Roger.
So you rolled what, 2 for your?
I
your
rolled a
minutes?
2 for my minutes.
Okay. So it's going to take 20 minutes for him to do this by himself.
I can assist. Well, I'm gonna wait. I'm focusing on the door crack.
It shouldn't take long to see if there's bad guys in there, and then if there are no bad guys in there, Luca, can you stand overwatch while one person on each door with Frank in the middle and push these doors open?
Luca gives you a nod and spins the unicycle around so the gun turret is facing back towards the entrance.
Is the door open enough where we can take a peek between thing before we continue to open it?
You want to stick your head in? Give me a perception
No,
check.
not my head in it. No, I just like to see through it. You know.
Give me a perception check.
So got a 9.
There's a large cargo elevator inside that you can see, and there are 4 turrets on the roof. They're not moving. They're up there.
Do the turrets have any lights on them, like red, green, anything like that?
Not that you can see in the visible spectrum.
Gotcha. Okay, guys, I can see a couple turrets in there on the ceilings. They don't look like they're on, but and there's also like a elevator in there. So elevator, a couple turrets. That's all I can see.
Frank, if you let go of those doors as they come shut, are they just staying where they're at? If you stop applying pressure to them.
I will check that by not applying so much pressure on the doors. Do they slide back?
They stay in place.
Okay. Aiden, run back and grab one of them dead Vargar guys, and we'll throw them through the crack and see what happens.
Okay. Is how much of a crack do we have on this door? We have enough room for a Vargar?
I'm going to assume that you're going to wait until the door's open enough to do it. So, yes.
Okay.
That's
All right, well, I'm
the
going to
thing
run
you
back,
guys have
grab a
control over.
Vargar. Okay. So I do have a Vargar now. I'm getting ready to chuck him through the door.
Just for shits and grins, roll me an athletics check.
I have a 1,000-yard stare while he's doing this.
I just want to see how wimpy this throw is.
Oh, Christ. Oh, goodness sakes. All right, athletics. We are. Oh, goodness sakes. I have a 4. This is bad.
So he makes like the most noises in the microphone, and you guys are like, wow, he's putting a lot of effort in, and the Vargar like actually hits Frank, like it doesn't even go completely over him. And it kind of like rolls off the top of Frank's vac suit just inside the door, and nothing happens.
I turned to Aiden and I'm like, her name was Sunny, by the way. Like that was a person you're trying to just shove in there.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to hit you with that, Frank. Yeah, I am sorry. I just got this muscle cramp in my arm. You know, this weapon's kind of heavy. I've been carrying this thing around for a while. I just kind of cramped up, so I could have tossed it better, but
I noticed you haven't really used it at all either.
I know it's just heavy. It's like this big dumbbell. I gotta it's just lugging it around.
All right, let's keep
right.
opening the door.
Yep. So I'm gonna keep cranking on the door.
Okay. Eventually, you will get it open. In front of you is exactly what I described. There's the whole top of the building appears to be, the whole entry part of the building that you can habitate, doesn't actually take up the whole building, is a large cargo elevator. It's big enough for a Centurion to walk through the door and go up or down the elevator. And there are 4 turrets on the roof that are currently paying you no mind and not moving at all.
I'm gonna tentatively walk towards the turrets.
Okay. You walk into the elevator, and there's a control panel on the left-hand side. It appears to have power. And the turrets don't move at all. Pretty much nothing happens.
All right, gentlemen. I think remembering the turrets are up there is probably going to be prudent when we get back, but so far, they don't seem to be doing anything. Come on in.
I'm going to grab my cell phone and take a picture of my control panel and all of its little glyphs, and another picture of the power panel thing and all of its glyphs.
So, Luca's going to hop down and start joining the crew. Unless he's told not to.
Nope.
All right, so your next obstacle, and it's not going to show on the map. You guys are in an elevator. It's a generic, like, metal grate elevator. It's obviously meant for industrial stuff and cargo. And there is a single control panel, almost identical to the one that you were just using outside, on the side of the elevator. It's got a couple of extra widgets on it. It appears to have one of those green scanners on it.
But no active buttons?
I mean, it's holographic in nature, so you can touch things on the screen. if you want to. The one on the outside didn't have physical buttons either.
Oh, okay. You've been studying them glyphs for about 20 minutes while I've been opening this door. Has it been... You getting anything out of it?
Do any of the glyphs match any of the glyphs that we have on either the control panel or power panel?
The rectangular glyph with the arrow is also in there, and it is also blinking yellow. And there is another glyph with a set of 3 lines that it's there twice, and one of them is blinking red. The other one's green.
Guys, we have the blinky lines on both of or here.
I also
one of them.
need to know: are you pushing any of these buttons, or are you just looking? Like, have you touched the console yet, or
I've not touched anything yet.
Okay, so it's not going to react to you at all if you're not going to touch it. So you're not going to be able. You will playing with the outside when you're going to have noticed that, like, you can switch screens and change context and stuff like that, but you have to like interact with it before it. It's everything is context sensitive on these interfaces.
I guess I'm touching it.
Give me a luck roll.
It's going to be amazing. 8.
Okay. As soon as you walk up to it and you start touching it, the green scanner on the front starts scanning you, and you instinctively take a step back. And it cuts off as you move more than like a couple feet away from it.
Guys, this thing's scanning me. Gonna go back over to the power panel.
You can walk out of the elevator?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And does the power panel have another little 3 green line trigger breaker?
Looking over it, the one that is burnt has 3 lines on it, but it's the only one out there that you can see. The one that Frank touched.
Got it. Alright, guys, so pretty sure 3 little lines is sensors, and the 2 little squares with the arrows is doors. And it's yellow doors because the doors are open. Any thoughts on how to get past scanners, or do we let it scan us and potentially turn those giant guns on?
Oh, what's it scanning for? Maybe we can salvage it out of one of the Centurions or one of the drones, maybe. Luca, you got one of them drones. Maybe we just hold it up to the fucking scanner and it reads it.
The elevator looks big enough that you could pull the unicycle of mass destruction in it.
I mean,
Let's bring that fucking drone in here.
Okay. Luca brings the drone in and hangs the drone in front of the scanner, and it does scan the drone. You watch it sweep back and forth for a moment, and it acknowledges the drone's presence, and then kind of blinks there. Like it's waiting for the drone to tell it to do something.
As we look at that thing, is there any sort of like up or down?
There's all sorts
Symbol.
of buttons, but once again, context sensitive. So like you'd have to start interacting with the panel to change the symbols. So it's one of those things where like it has some generic symbols and you put your finger on it and then it like says, oh, you want to know about these things, just like a computer operating system normally would, you know? Your desktop doesn't have the shutdown command on it. You have to push the Windows button and then go to shutdown.
Enhance. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, would you like to know more? Exactly.
All right, well, unless anybody has any better ideas, I'm going to ask to know more.
A wise captain listens to the whispers of the void.
Give me another luck roll.
Yeah. Last time I did this, I blew up a spaceship.
And how did you do that, blowing up of the spaceship?
With a luck roll of a 3.
All right. So you walk in closely. The scanner scans towards you. And you realize all too late, it's not actually looking like it's very interested in you. It's not looking at you. It's scanning that challenge coin. And the second you realize that the lights in the elevator click off, red lights come on, an alarm klaxon starts rolling, and Luca reverses the unicycle of destruction out of the door, trying to evac really, really quickly. Everyone else can give me a dexterity roll, because what is going to happen is the elevator is going to drop out from under your feet.
I rolled a 6. I've got 1 in dexterity and then a 1 in dexterity because it's a true dexterity athletics roll, right?
That is correct. So
Sweet.
You are going to pass that. Did anyone else pass/fail?
Got a 5.
14.
You got a 13.
14.
Dude,
Holy
you and
dang.
your dexterity. Okay, you passed with enough grade. How much did you fail by?
Jesus.
I need to know how much you failed by, Aiden.
Oh, I got a 5.
5 total.
5 total.
Okay. So you need 3 more. You got a 14, so you have 3 to spare, so I will let you grab Aiden if you want.
Okay.
Oh no, only if you want. Think about this.
Gosh, either that or push us out of the way like you did in the starship.
I know, right?
He's only got 1 hit point. Like, if he
Come on,
bounces off
Cap.
a wall, he's a dead man.
That's true.
Yeah, somebody could spit on me and I'll die.
Okay,
I will
so
grab Aiden.
I need to roll for Luca as well. You rolled a 4.
I
I'm
don't
not-
have that much effect.
I'm not going to give you the opportunity anyway. So the unicycle of death is going to kick out, but as the floor is dropping out, the unicycle is going to go out the door, but Luca's going to fall off the back and go down the shaft.
No.
So Luca has now gone down the shaft. You have no idea what happened because he doesn't scream. He doesn't actually make any noise. And you guys are all scrabbling for handholds, and that's what you all have found with your dexterity rolls. You found something to hang on to. Or more specifically, Holmes has found something to hang on to and then grabbed Aiden. And Frank has found something to hold on to. But Luca doesn't even try to catch himself. He just lets himself fall.
That stupid challenge coin.
And he falls into the black of the elevator shaft.
And we're hanging now, dangling above the shaft.
You are now dangling in a shaft. The security turrets appear to have turned on, and they are sweeping around, but they don't seem to be able to depress enough to hit you where you're currently at. They're really designed to stop things from coming through the door. So unless you try to climb out the door, they're not going to be able to shoot you.
Shit.
Also, you are now on the clock, because how long do you think you can hold yourself up by your
not
fingers?
very long.
Yeah.
I could, Frank the dog catcher probably could way longer than I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna start climbing down.
Okay, you're carrying Aiden, so you may want to get him on a handhold first.
Okay, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Aiden,
let go
grab
of you,
something.
but kind of grab onto the side here and kind of hold on to something.
I need another athletics check from you.
Okay.
You can all make athletics checks. If you all want to climb down, you can all make your athletics checks. We'll just roll them all together.
This is just pure athletics, or did we want something else like endurance or?
No, it's pure athletics. It's athletics. So it's your athletic skill and your athletics stat.
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
I have an athletics of 0, but that's the
That's good, though, because that means you're not taking a negative.
major category. Yes, and as far as character traits, there's no athletics. It's strength, dexterity.
Sorry, it's strength athletics.
Oh,
You're
gotcha.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all All right, that's fine. I just want to make sure. So yeah, so it's 0-0. So I got a 10.
All
An
right.
8.
So you can use either strength or dexterity as your skill for climbing, but you have to use strength as your stat, I think is the way it is, or maybe it's reversed. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll take it either way, whichever way works for you guys. You're either nimble or you're strong.
That's a wash for me, so I'll take the 10.
I got a 9.
Okay. Frank?
I got a 12.
Okay, so you're not tumbling down
Yeah.
the All right, you guys are going to climb down this shaft, and I am going to now switch the map. Finally, we made it to the dungeon.
It only took us 2.5 episodes.
Yeah. And the death
But
of a
we
comrade.
made it.
And I'd like to point out that, like, not that elaborate of a dungeon. So as you climb down the shaft, you eventually find a offshoot. The big doors for like where the Centurion goes, they appear to be like a crane style thing, and you can't quite get into it. But there is like an access door for people to walk out. And when you walk out of it, you're going to end up on this platform here. And you don't.
Is Luca there?
I was about to say, and you don't see Luca anywhere.
Do we see a blood stain?
You do not. If you roll perception, I'll let you get a chance to see something.
I would love to.
It's going to need to be a 10 or higher, though.
I did not get 10 or higher.
I got a 9.
Aiden saving the day? I'm going to guess no with a 4 on the dice. Okay, so this is, you guys are looking down a long hallway.
Sorry about that. I was talking to a muted mic. Yes, I didn't get anything. So yeah, right with the 4.
There are lights above head. There are, it's a very, very industrial, very antiseptic, military style bunker.
And at the end of the hallway, we see another elevator.
You do see the other elevator at the end of the hallway.
How about in the ceiling or walls? Is there any place that a pop-up turret could show up?
Yeah, there's all sorts of panels and stuff that they could pop out of, or any other number of heinous things that could happen.
Yes.
Well, Mr. fucking challenge coin, you want to go first?
Lead from the front. I got this.
Okay. As you come down the hallway, there will be a T-junction that goes off to the left. And then straight ahead of you, far down the hallway, is that elevator. It's a pretty long damn hallway, though.
Is it clean and white?
It is clean.
Sterile?
It's clean. I don't know about sterile, but it's clean. Cleaner than an unoccupied structure would be likely to be.
Where the hell did Luca go?
To the left.
Okay, following you. I'm whispering because I'm sneaking. This place is probably occupied.
Somebody's been here for a long time with no way of generating food then.
Well, it could be occupied by robots, man.
Alright.
So the doors are
cool.
labeled, but I want you to understand that since you haven't been able to decipher the language, you can't actually read the doors.
Yes. Do any of the symbols look anything like the symbols that we've taken pictures of already?
No.
Alright. Going to the right.
Go into the right. Okay. You open the door.
Clear corners.
It is a very large room. There are 4 massive pillars in the middle surrounding some sort of glowing structure with a terminal in front of it. the scale here isn't quite right. I need to make you guys much bigger. Gonna be more like that.
Now that I feel stronger already.
You get the Mario mushroom sound.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What kind of room is this? It's glowing up there.
I'm gonna search. What are these thingies? I'm gonna investigate these thingies over here.
Those are some kind of computer rack, you think? They are not a technology you are familiar with.
Okay. But there's nobody hiding behind them.
Nope, there's no people there.
I want to check out this white thing here.
That is an interesting object. It's like nothing you've really seen before. There's some kind of sensor in it that's obvious, and it looks like there's a seam where maybe it opens, like the top part of the cylinder might open. But it appears to be completely dormant.
Hey guys, I think I found a Roomba.
It's a part of the building. It's not mobile. A Roomba implies it can move. It cannot. It is part of the floor.
I'm thinking more like turret than Roomba. Excuse me.
We're here for the crazy code thing, right? Kill code.
We're also here for Luca.
So Frank takes a couple of steps towards the center. Immediately, the HUD in your vac suit is going to start flickering wildly. The closer you get to the middle of the room, the worse the distortion is going to get. And your suit's actually going to start failing if you get within, say, 5 or 10 feet of the middle.
Oh no, yeah. As soon as things get kind of snowy, I'm going to step back.
The effect does seem to be worse the closer you get, and if you stepping away does cause the suit to come back online.
There's some sort of crazy radiation shit coming out of the middle of this room. Look, the closer you get to it, more of your electronics and gizmos and shit inside the vac suit go haywire.
Well, that's no fun.
Does anyone have any type of science skill?
Physics.
I'll allow it. Make a science physics roll. Put your education modifier in there.
About an 8.
All right, so with an 8, you just barely are able to think theoretically super advanced, theoretical physics magazines and such. I'm sure such things exist. Have theorized that such a dampening field could exist that would be like a consistent EMP that would be used to basically dampen electronics. And while you have no idea how that works because you only rolled an 8, you suspect its effects might look something like this.
You guys, we might be seeing some sort of dampening field designed to cut out our electronics, sort of like a giant EMP, like a permanent EMP.
It's not designed to cut out our electronics. This thing would cut out them fucking nanobots, wouldn't it? Keep them from getting to that inner terminal.
Probably. Or potentially.
Alright. Well, we just gotta strip on down nude and then walk ourselves in.
Do we have air?
You look at your vac suit sensors and it says that there is breathable atmosphere. It's a little cold to be naked, but you wouldn't be naked. You'd be in whatever clothes you're wearing under your vac suit.
I'd be naked. No,
but the heating in the building is probably just above freezing.
Well, what do you say, Captain? You got all them glyphids and stuff on your phone?
Oh, you're not getting me out of my vac suit.
You got to remember, Holmes' vac suit is his weapon system.
Aiden, you gonna be a hero?
I don't know. My vac suit's the only thing keeping me alive right now. I got like 1 hit point.
I'll be the hero then. I'm gonna guess take the helmet off.
Okay. So you take the helmet off, and the first thing you're going to notice is the air is very stale. So you've been on many starships where the air has been recycled far, far too many times, and it smells like that. It is old, and even though the rooms have been cleaned, like it's just stale air. But it is breathable. Also, your breath immediately condensates from the cold, like you get a chill. And I imagine with everything you guys have been doing climbing down that shaft, you're probably soaked in sweat. So it's going to be extra cold as you take the suit off.
My teeth are chattering. Oh, shit. Well, as my father used to say, oh, shit. This is going to suck. And I'm going to walk myself up in here.
As you get closer to the pylons, you see that they have basically their banks that have tiny little slots. Not tiny, but like I'd say, think the size of a platter hard drive. There's slots in them, hundreds of them in each of these pylons. The terminal, despite the electromagnetic interference, working perfectly.
The hundreds of slots, are any of them occupied?
All of them, well, not all of them. The vast majority of them are occupied. However, some of them are missing. And you can see cassettes on the floor that look like they would fit into it, where the contents have been removed.
I'm going to walk up to the control terminal and stick my hand on it.
Okay. It acknowledges that you've done that. A number of hieroglyphs come up in front of you. You also notice that there's a cassette resting on the terminal. Looks like some sort of data storage device. It's not the same kind of cassette as the ones that go in the pylons.
No, then I'll pick that up.
Okay. As the terminals come up, you see various different symbols. You don't really know what any of them mean. Some of them are shapes or diagrams. One of them looks like a swarm of bees.
Does another one look like a swarm of bees falling to the ground, dying forever?
No such luck.
Frank gets frustrated and he's like, God damn it, I didn't go to fucking 3rd grade 4 times just to fucking come here and learn some other fucking language. Can somebody else come over here and take a look at this? Look, there's a hieroglyph of these, like, swarm of something or another, and then there's this fucking data storage card right here, and I hold that up. I'm gonna, I guess, put it in my pocket. And, anybody got any opinion here before I just start punching some buttons?
You said something about, like, swarm of bees thing, right? Like, seriously? Like, it looks like bees?
I would assume maybe that they're the nanobots. You know, the things that you guys are here for the kill code for, which I think may be right beyond my reach right here.
Yeah, because I got a bunch of them things stuck in my body right now. They're just killing me.
Well, why don't you come over here and see if your body feels better?
All right, I'm gonna do it.
So you're gonna get out of your vac suit?
Yep, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. You go through the same experience that Frank goes through. You pull your helmet off. It's super cold in the room. As you peel the vac suit off, which takes a significant amount of time, by the way, to do. It's super cold. You're super sweaty, and then you can move freely in the cold room.
All right, so I walk on up here to see what Frank is looking at.
Okay. You don't feel any different walking closer to it. But you do see all the different little diagrams and stuff.
Frank doesn't know that you're infected, I don't think. Did anybody tell him that?
I think he just did.
I think
He
I
just
just did.
did.
No, you just
Yep.
did?
I just did.
Well, I mean, you feeling anything? None of the other electronics are working around here.
No, I'm not feeling really anything here.
All right, well, you want to hit this button that looks like a swarm of bees? Or, I don't think that's probably... Oh, that's totally my pocket. Yeah, thank you. All right. I hit the swarm of bees button.
A holographic diagram comes up showing the 4 pylons in relation to the terminal. Many of the little cassettes light up on the diagram.
Any other buttons pop up? Like contextual stuff appear?
There will be 3 different buttons on the side that are grayed out, but look like they are related to the selection that you have been just presented with.
Can I touch where an empty cassette would be on a tower?
You can touch it, but it's grayed out and won't do anything.
Okay. So if I touch a cassette on a tower that is occupied, does it light up green?
Yes. If you touch one of the lit up ones, it will zoom in on that one, and the 3 buttons will highlight. Well, the 3 buttons are a down arrow, a circle with a like lightning bolt through it, and then the third option. Well, how would this be depicted? It would be It would be 2 squares with a dotted line between the 2 of them.
Is the dotted line horizontal between the 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay. Can I select more than one cassette at a time?
It doesn't appear to work like that. As soon as you select one of the cassettes, it does go to them. You can back out and select a different cassette. It seems to know when you pull your hand back that you don't want to actually work with that thing. It's very context sensitive to your hand motions.
Man, that's pretty intuitive. This is it's not a bad operating system. You see this, Aiden?
It looks very weird to me.
All right, so when I select one of these cassette things that are, showing up, they're actually on these towers. You see this, Aiden? This tower here has got like 35 of these things right up here. You see them? If I go over to the control panel, I can select one of those cassettes, and it will pop up with 3 contextual buttons on the side. It's got a down arrow, a circle with a power. No, maybe it's a circle with a lightning bolt or something like that. And then the bottom one's 2 squares with a dotted line between them. If I was to guess, right, we got a power, maybe a transfer button, and then a download. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like that's kind of like a transfer thing. That's what I was kind of thinking. Like transferring, something from one place to another would be the horizontal line with the 2 squares, and then I don't know what the electric bolt thing is.
Holmes, you can still talk to them if you want, even if you don't want to leave your vac suit.
Oh, I'm just listening. I don't have anything useful to say at the moment.
So when you select a different disc, you get different contextual options.
That seems like every cassette gives me these same 3 buttons.
Okay.
But we do have this data storage card thing, and I'm going to walk it back over to the captain. Captain, you're still in your vac suit, so maybe you got your HUD. You could plug this thing in, look at it.
It is not compatible with any current technology that you have.
Man, this thing is like a crazy USB deaf or some shit.
Is there anything in the room besides the 4 pillars?
Yeah, we got the computer consoles in the back corner that we think are computer consoles, but
If you examine them
I've never
closely,
seen
you will
like-
see that they do have drives that would probably accept that cassette. There's also a drive that would accept that cassette in the base of the terminal up by the glowy thing.
I recommend glowy thing.
All right, fine then. And I turn, take it, and I turn right back around. I go and fucking shove it in there. I'm gonna do it gently.
I mean, it accepts it, but nothing on the screen changes. Still the same options. Actually, no, you walked away from the terminal. You're back to the root menu, and you would have to hit the button to go to the bee-looking thing again.
Bees. And that brings up towers.
And that brings up towers, and selecting one of the cassettes brings you the same 3 options.
All right, I'm gonna back out. Root menu. What were the options there? One was bees.
There's several like different triangle and wiggly lines and all these other things. They appear to be different things. At this point, you can probably discern that these towers, they store different things. So each one of the buttons you're looking at is a thing that is stored in here.
So the bees, were they on one tower or they were all 4 towers?
They were on different slots of all 4 towers. So, like, not all of the slots on the towers were bees, but there were some in each tower.
Right. So if I hit one of the triangles or squiggly lines, does it bring me back to towers?
It does, but it's different boxes that
Different
are
cassettes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right. But at the root menu, there's nothing that says anything about the new data wafer that I plugged in.
No, the cassette doesn't seem to be like it's powered. A light turned on the actual place you plugged it in, but there doesn't appear to be any buttons that you can tell relate to it.
Damn it. I guess Luca was the smart one.
I mean, you can't understand the language, so it wouldn't have been too.
We're all fucked.
Well, what do you think, Captain?
I
3
think
options, it looks like, so.
I think we need to download the kill codes. I think I have no idea how to do that.
Do we think those kill codes actually are here in this room, or should we investigate a different room?
Yeah, maybe we should look around. It's a good idea.
I think there's value in both of them. So we still need to find Lucas still.
I'm good with going to investigate a different room. We already know what's here. We already got some information. Maybe we go to a different room and see if there's any more information we can gather, and maybe even find Luca.
Fine. I take the data wafer out. Aiden, you're pretty smart. Nah, pat him on the back. I'm gonna put my vac suit on. I'll help you with yours.
Sounds good.
It's gonna take a little while.
Guys, put your vac suits back on.
All right. I guess we'll head out. You want to check out this next room then?
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good to me.
Pop
Yeah.
the door.
You guys hit the button. Door just opens. As you walk into this room, you're gonna see 4 large tanks and what looks like biological areas. There are these trash can wide looking things in the ground that look almost like AC vents have popped up. And they all have lights on them. All the lights are currently green. There are 2 terminals in the middle of the room, and there is some sort of pharmaceutical or scientific equipment in each corner of the room. You've seen enough to know that the containers in the middle are some kind of low berth, probably for storing people or specimens. Give me a perception check for each of you who has come in the room.
10 for Frank.
And for me.
You are going to see it.
And a 4.
You are not. On the specimen table is a creature. It's obviously dead. It's being held in a stasis field even though it's dead. And as you get closer, assuming you want to walk across the room to it, I'll give you a little bit more of a description.
Frank will walk over.
Okay. It is ugly. It's got a maw of front teeth. It doesn't appear to have any eyes. It's been cut open in several ways, and some sort of large sac has been removed. It is also cybernetic. Like, it not only is this a monstrous-looking spider-like maw creature, but it's got, like, cybernetic enhancements on various parts of its body. Look like they've been grown into the skin, almost. It doesn't look like it's a clean cut and then the prosthetic was put on. It's like the cybernetic grew out of its limbs.
What in the name of Mother Teresa? I don't know. So Matt, the player, remembers seeing something like this before. Maybe not with all the technology, but definitely this creature. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong.
Okay.
I thought to myself, what would be worse than these guys? I know, with these guys if they were, cyber monsters.
Fuck. Well, the silver lining is dead. That's a good thing.
Are we sure it's dead?
Fuck, I'm not gonna fucking touch it. That thing is ugly as hell.
I mean, it's still in stasis. Like, do we know that it's dead? Could the cybernetics be keeping it alive still?
Enough of it has been cut open that it's almost cut in half. So,
okay.
You're not wrong to think that, but it's been damaged so much by the autopsy, we'll loosely call it, that you don't think that's going to be a thing.
Do the other low birth tube things, like, do any of them show signs of recent use?
I mean, the whole room's clean. Once again, something's been cleaning in here. And while all the equipment is old, it seems very well maintained. I will say that if you go up to the cryobirth, you will see there's a thick layer of frost over each of the windows for the cryobirth.
Ooh, and we can't see inside?
You could if you wipe the frost away.
I do that.
Okay. As you wipe the frost away on each of them, you see inside is one of these creatures in each of these containment units.
Oh no, bueno.
It's cybernetically enhanced, just like the one on the table. But it doesn't appear to have been cut open or anything.
Fuck. Man, hopefully this terminal's got a flush button.
I mean, it probably does. That doesn't mean that we're going to know what it is.
Yeah. Can I walk up to this terminal, though?
Absolutely. It's the same exact kind of holographic interface as the rest of them.
Instead of bees, does it have nasty-looking cringe things on it?
So there is a diagram that it looks roughly like you would look at it and you're like, I think that's what these things are.
And when I select it, do I get more context?
Actually, a full schematic of the creature itself. You can't read any of the writing, but like a floating diagram comes up and it starts, pointing out with various scientific bits, all the different biological and technological components, and then it starts shifting through varieties of them, and it's a ton of information and options on this computer.
Damn, I wish I knew how to download all this shit.
You didn't see any of these hieroglyphs like this in the other room?
Actually, all three of those buttons would be available.
The circle with the, yeah. There's there's the same 3 buttons here on both of the terminals, in this room and the last room, but I'm personally not brave enough to hit them.
Well, so we have reason to believe that there is some sort of, I don't want to say life, something is maintaining this place, and we still need to find Luca. So I say we leave this place as is, and we go see if we can not shoot our way through things.
You don't have to tell me twice. This room is creepy.
As you leave this room, a scanner sweeps over you. Too fast for you to really have done anything about it, but it doesn't do anything other than beep and allow the door to open.
Whew. Got some door anxiety there.
A little bit.
Does it let us open the? Does it open the door for each one of us as we go through, or does it recognize a specific one?
It scans you one at a time, and you each get scanned, and the door opens.
Gotcha.
Now we're back out to the main hallway. It's just the elevator we came down, or the other elevator, right?
Yep. Let's go look at the other elevator.
Okay. The other elevator has 2 destinations on it.
Down and further down?
No, they actually seem to be roughly, well, I mean, they are technically down and further down, but they are very close by. You get the impression that this one moves sideways.
I'm just going to hit a button.
Okay.
I hit a button.
Okay. Let's see. Those are going to be evens, and that's going to be odds. That's a 1. That's an odd. A door slides open, and you find yourself in what appear to be living quarters.
Damn. Where'd we come out?
We're just going to say here. As you walk through the room, sitting at the desk is going to be, from what behind looks like, a woman with white hair. Yes, there.
Okay. Does the elevator ding or anything like that? She just doesn't turn around?
The elevator does make noise, but she does not seem to acknowledge your presence.
All right. Frank gets off the elevator. Seeing her, though, I'm going to try to stay sneaky. Sneaky. And look at the bunk bed.
Okay. The beds in here have not been used for a very long time. They're perfectly made and maintained. But you can tell by the way the sheets have gone rigid over time, like they haven't been used.
All right. I stick my head out. Has she moved at all from the desk? Or at the desk?
Ooh. Give me a perception check.
Nine.
Her hands have moved over the consoles.
Oh.
They are not human. They are mechanical in nature. Her hands appear to be robotic.
I turn to look at the captain still in the elevator. Hey, there's like a lady or something at that desk, but she's got like mechanical hands, like prosthetic or something. Maybe she's just a, I don't know, cyborg or something.
Yeah, I mean, expected. Nobody, for as long as we've assumed this place has been somewhat dormant, it would make sense that the person that's still kicking around here is
Not human? Yeah.
If anyone else wants to make a perception check, I can give you some additional information.
I will go ahead and do one.
14.
9.
Okay. Aiden, you notice that the diagram she has up on the screen is a bio readout from a bio bed, and that Luca is the subject of the bio bed. Holmes, you actually get a good look at her. Appears to be some sort of highly advanced android-style robot. Unusual for these styles of robot, but she's wearing what appears to be like actual clothes. Normally they're just metal plates that are made to look like an outfit.
Hey guys, Luca's on the screen. Can you guys see that?
Do we recognize like where Luca's at?
No, it's just a bio readout. It's basically detailing injuries he sustained and various other things. Like, you would recognize, even though you don't recognize the language, you recognize enough of the symbology to understand that that's his pulse, so he's still alive, and that represents a broken bone, and that's, you know, some other medical thing. You guys have seen enough medical screens, you're able to piece this together pretty easily.
Well, yeah.
Should we just go say hello?
Yep.
Let her know we come in peace?
Yep. I think it's a great idea.
I pull the sniper rifle back out. Do we come in peace?
Alright, yeah, does anybody want to do the talking? I'll do the talking.
You're the captain.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to make a roll because Frank did a thing.
He walked forward.
He pulled a weapon.
Oh, I didn't aim it. I have it.
Doesn't matter. You just what you just said that denotes intent.
Okay.
Also, she's totally listening to you. So you're trying to deceive someone by talking over a radio. So yeah, so that 8 is going to be in that she's going to turn around. Let's see. How aggressive? Probably not very aggressive. So she will probably basically level her pistol at Frank and be like, "Are we going to fight?"
Captain just said we come in peace, so
yes,
I'm
but
lower
you,
my gun.
But you said.
I know. I'm explaining where I'm going with this.
Oh, I thought you were actually talking to her.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the rifle back down, and look to the captain. No need to fight.
No need to fight. See, you're looks like you're caring for our friend. I appreciate that.
This individual was an unknown intruder. However, you are not Scourge, and you are not Salandinian. Although you are carrying a Salandinian artifact that will almost certainly cause you more harm than good.
Yeah, I like collecting coins.
Much coin.
Interesting. I would like to know your intentions in this facility.
So we were involved in being attacked by pirates, and during our defense of ourself and our ship, we released this weird, and when I say we were released, it was released on us, these weird base bugs that eat everything and replicate. and we were able to slow him down enough to escape. And from the information that we could put together, we believe that there's potentially a way to stop them from eating and replicating and destroying the entire system. And we are here to see if we can find some way to stop them.
You're referring to the Genesis weapon.
Does it look like a giant swarm of little angry bees?
Assuming I am contextually interpreting the word bees correctly, yes.
Then yes, that is what I'm talking about.
It's interesting. Several attacks have been made on this facility, more so in recent time than in the past. And several supply crates were raided on the surface. It is possible that this place is the origin of your issue. You should immediately quarantine and vacate the systems affected.
Well, there's no, like, kill code or anything like that we could maybe use?
There is, but you'd have to get access to the containment room, and only the chief scientist of this facility was able to do that.
I'm going to make the assumption that the chief scientist is long since passed away.
That's not entirely accurate, but it is also correct.
Are you the chief scientist?
I am a defense adjutant. I was designed to protect this system and this outpost from any adversaries at all cost.
Then we apologize for blowing up your robot earlier.
She silently stares at you.
Has Frank heard of an adjutant before?
No. The other players have.
Yeah. Well, Frank's gonna ask the dumb question then.
Okay.
What the fuck's an adjutant?
An adjutant is a generally artificial intelligence construct that is designed with the specific purpose of carrying out emergency procedures in the absence of a command structure for facilities combating the scourge.
So there's more of you?
Indeed, there are various different models and types. I am one of the last models ever created. In fact, my model was meant to be the end-all. So this facility was originally an outpost designed to research last resort methods of stopping the scourge.
Could you tell us by who?
Research? The chief researcher, did I put the name? Oh, come on, don't do that. You asked a very simple question that has a good reveal answer, and then Tabletop Simulator decided to be Tabletop Simulator. Alright, fine, do it that way. Let's see, objects, components, custom. Let's do a tile, which you will do properly. Of course, that doesn't give me my secondary information I need. Ah, there we go. The original chief scientist of this facility was Dr. Kathy. And since we've already done this, you guys will see a picture laying on the ground of a very similar looking woman in the bedroom that you're in to the outfit that the adjutant is wearing. That's the thing that's just kind of laying around. Assuming you guys can actually see that.
Yes, can see it.
Could you tell us what the political affiliation was? Like, who sponsored this place?
Political affiliation. There were no political entities. There was simply the Terrans and the Scourge.
Oh,
Or
I
rather,
see.
who's funding this?
Yeah,
Who funded this place?
Frank is not in the know of the stuff the rest of the party does, but Aiden should have known the answer to that question before even speaking it. Remember that the adjutant has referred to this place as being 1,000 years old and to have fought in a war that basically the entire civilization that started it doesn't exist anymore.
I think Frank just asked the question for exposition.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I get it. The problem is that that's where the other two guys should have chimed in and been like, oh yeah,
Right.
we know about this.
Sorry.
Were you talking to muted mic again?
Yep. You know me. I like talking to myself, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have intelligent
Damn.
conversation every once in a while.
Right? So what happened to the chief researcher?
So there's a moment of hesitation, and for a second you wonder if she's even going to answer you. And she's like, towards the end of the war, weapons were being used that were going to render this planet uninhabitable. The staff here knew that there was no way out, but that the program had to continue. So the three top scientists transferred the chief researcher's mind into a construct so that the information that was necessary to stop the Scourge in the future could be preserved. The remaining researchers then took their own lives.
And that construct, is it still around?
Indeed.
Are you that construct?
I would prefer not to say until I know more about your intentions.
What more would you like to know?
What is the status of the Scourge?
So the Scourge, again, assuming we're talking about the same thing, is that we are aware of is a small amount of them. Currently, we have the trajectory of them on our ship that's on another planet that we assume they're growing, but we don't know. And there are a few little tiny baby scourges inside this our buddy Aiden here.
Tiny scourges inside of a human? She seems very confused by that statement. A scanner from the ceiling scans him up and down. She seems... You've befuddled her. She does not understand what you just said. And she's like, if the Scourge have actually been released again upon the galaxy, I cannot release the kill codes. The purpose of the Genesis weapon is to stop the Scourge. At any cost.
Oh, I see. So Aiden's got a bit of the Genesis weapon in him, not the Scourge. The Scourge is the other critter then.
She holds her hand up in a holograph representation of the Charmax creature that you were talking about earlier, the cybernetic one, floats. She's like, this is the Scourge.
Oh, yeah, see, we thought the Genesis weapon was the Scourge. Is there a way to stop the Genesis weapon from eating our buddy Aiden here?
She scans Aiden again. All of the nanites in your friend here are deactivated.
Oh, good news, Aiden.
It is likely that you've walked within the containment field at some point during your explorations of this facility. It's the one room I can't watch, but I know that you went in there.
So are they deactivated permanently, or can they be reactivated, or can they be expelled?
I could reactivate them for you if you would like.
No, definitely not. But can they be expelled from my body where they are no longer present?
Now that they're deactivated, eventually they will pass as any other inactive, inert substance in your body would. It's quite likely you'll carry at least one for the remainder of your life, and if it were ever reactivated, it would attempt to multiply.
Is there a way to stop it from multiplying, or any safety switch to the Genesis weapon?
There are kill codes, and assuming that the Scourge is not currently active and moving across the galaxy, Protocol would allow me to confirm that state and release a kill code for you. However, you would need to be able to go into the stasis room and retrieve. Right, stasis room the right word? Is probably not. The storage room, the nanite storage room, and retrieve said kill code and anything else. I obviously cannot enter that room.
Right. We were in there, and I can't read anything off that terminal, so
I could try to teach you our divine language, but it would take some time. Perhaps
I guess
for some of you than others.
yeah. We could just start with the APCs, maybe. Or just what's kill in your alphabet?
How about
She brings up a symbol that is a circle with a lightning bolt in the middle.
Really? Okay. What is the one with the two squares with the little dots in between them?
In the context of the download operating system, that would enable you to download specific information, including kill codes, to a external device.
And then the down arrow, then
Eject.
Eject. Those the storage terminals, they had a bunch of other things on them. It wasn't just the Genesis weapon, was it?
This research facility attempted several different ways of handling the Scourge threat. Some of those are electronic, and those would be stored in those towers in various formats. The EM dampening field is to keep any of them from escaping into the facility and consuming it.
How does the kill code have to be deployed?
Low frequency RF is a technology you have that could transmit it, although it is inefficient, and you will need to be within relatively close proximity to do it. To cover an entire star system, you would need an array of probes and satellites to sweep through the system.
I think with the right government people, we could get probes and satellites and send them through. I don't think that that's going to be impossible to undertake.
It is important to understand that each Genesis weapon has a unique kill code. If the Genesis weapon that was deployed where you were at is of a different variety than the one that you take the kill code for, your kill code will not be effective.
Is there a way to identify which one it is?
And we can pull them out of your body there, Aiden.
If you have the distribution device, it will have a serial number on it.
Damn it. I don't know anything about that.
By distribution device, I'm assuming you're referring to the hand grenade thing that we came in contact with?
She tilts her head once again sideways, and she's like, I believe from the context of your statement that was probably correct. It is not an explosive apparatus, nor is it meant to be used in that sort of close proximity. It would be suicidal for one of you to deploy it in such a fashion.
Definitely understandable. So it's actually a storage container, is what it really is.
Indeed, it's a stasis container. You would deploy it in a system and then leave the system.
Are there any other ways to identify the variety of the Genesis weapon without having the container present?
Well, logically, you could try to look in the logs and see what was taken from the containment facility and sent up to the surface. It would be probably beneficial to download all of the kill codes for anything that has gone to the surface, as that is the only place they could have gotten a canister, since this facility has not been breached to this level until you arrived.
Is there a way to go up to the surface and bring the rest of the supplies and stuff back into the containment room to see which ones?
I did have units capable of doing that. However, they are no longer responding.
Our bad.
Yeah, that might actually be my fault right there.
Oops.
How long do you think you're gonna have our buddy Luca there? Is he gonna be okay?
He fell several meters to a cement pad. He'll live. We did originally take him in for study. I was about to investigate your specific biology to see how close to our people you were. And if his body was beyond repair, I had prepared a construct to save his consciousness. However, it doesn't appear that that will be necessary.
That was mighty fine of you. Let me ask you another, a hypothetical question. What would it take for you just to leave this place and maybe come with us? Enjoy the rest of your days not being here.
Ooh, I am going to need some sort of diplomacy or persuade check, and I know your social is garbage. So if anyone else wants to help you with that, they can.
Yeah, I'm the worst person to have asked that question, I guess.
But basically,
what
you did was you tried to touch her humanity, which has been buried for 1,000 years.
It's going to have to be you, Captain.
Have you seen my social?
Yeah, I got a negative.
And we can't really metagame this, but I'm going to go ahead
and... Our socials are all the same.
I'm going to roll it. Let's fucking...
You got
no whammies. No whammies. No whammies.
You got this. No, you don't got this. You still don't got this.
All right. I have a -1 in social. I rolled a 6. Shit. It's
Player
not Carouse.
It's not a combat roll. You can use player points to boost it.
Yeah. Is it a leadership roll?
I don't think that's leadership. I really think that's persuade.
Persuade.
Yeah.
All right. I have a -3 to persuade. So it's not going to work out, I don't think. Unless I can just dump a lot of player points into it. I definitely did not miss it by 1.
I'm not normally one to let you just dump player points into fixing it, but because this is a critical roll and you don't have a face in the group currently, I'll let you do it. If you want to spend all those player points, it's going to be a chunk of them, because you got to take it to... It's got to be like a 10.
All right, so I will spend 4.
My persuade and social cancel out, so I'll have an even straight dice roll.
Well, we've already come far enough with Frank's roll that we're going to go with that. But it is important to remember that in the future.
Yep. All right. I have spent my player points.
Okay.
And I have touched upon her humanity deep down inside. You could always come with us, Miss Adjutant.
So she's going to say, I was called Kathy. I was
Kathy.
Dr. Kathy.
Dr. Kathy. Kathy's a great name. I have an aunt, Kathy, actually. She's the best woman I've ever known.
So, I've been here for a very long time. And there is a part of me that would be loath to leave this place with all of its dangers and secrets behind, as I am here to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. But there's also a part of me that would love to live an actual life. The only way I could leave this place would be by triggering the self-destruct.
Well, I bet Holmes is...
Yeah, I've got experience with this.
I'm not the captain, Miss Kathy. Sorry, Dr. Kathy, but if you want to go, I see no problems with you coming.
In order to trigger the self-destruct, all of the biological and electronic specimens would need to be neutralized manually. I would not be capable of doing this for the mechanical perspectives. I could help somewhat with the biological ones, although I suspect if we're going to be leaving in short order, you're going to want me to go help your friend, unless any of you is a doctor.
Negative.
Not negative.
I know I definitely could be using some healing.
How many biologicals are we talking?
There are at least 4 units still in the specimen rack. They can be exterminated one of 2 ways, either by triggering the failsafe to which you would not want to be in the room when that happened, or by manually activating each of the individual termination cycles for the low births.
Could you show me what one of them termination cycle buttons looks like?
She holds out her hand and a holographic representation of the circle with a lightning bolt in the middle appears. And she said, this symbol is generally used to wipe, delete, or kill something.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, boys. I think we got ourselves a plan.
Also, there is a significant amount of medical equipment and medicines available in the med lab, which is the other stop on the elevator, should you wish to partake in that. There are no biological specimens other than your teammate in that room, but there were biological specimens in that room originally. But your teammate Aiden has mentioned that he is injured.
Aiden, you want to go with the good doctor? And maybe I'll take Holmes and we'll go terminate those low birth things that we saw earlier. Divide and conquer.
Should be forewarned that if you activate the failsafe, even I cannot stop it.
So you said hit the kill button to activate the termination. So
Be very cautious.
which one is the bad one? What's that button look like?
If you are in the biological specimen area and you eject one of the specimens from its container without proper containment, the room will fill with an acid so potent that it will eat through your suits in a matter of minutes.
That's good to know. Hey, when we were in the storage room, the one with the terminals, you had these things built into the floors. Is that like gas too? What do they do?
Those are electronic defense turrets. It would be like, for you, it would be like getting hit by a bolt of lightning.
Oh, for the second time today, that would not be pleasant.
They are designed as last resort mechanisms to keep anyone from unauthorized removal of one of the devices in the room.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in that room and do the whole kill code thing. So do I need to authorize myself or can you do that?
The kill code is not what they're keeping you from taking
Okay,
away.
good.
You would download that to a storage container. However, if you were to eject one of the storage devices, as you called a grenade, and try to walk out of the room with it, the failsafe would be activated and the turrets would try to stop you.
So I'm kind of foggy. How did the Vargar get a hold of one of them? I don't know that. Sorry, that's not me.
She did already explain it earlier. Several crates of them were sent to the surface to be deployed. They tried to deploy this weapon.
Okay. So they tried to deploy it, but it was thousands of years ago.
Yes.
Yep. And then
And then that crate sat. Okay, and then the Vargar came and got something out of the crate. Okay, I'm tracking now. Thank you.
So, before we go institute our plan of coming over here, killing the biological little 4 dudes here, we still have one problem we haven't talked to her about yet. We have no way off this planet.
That is a significant problem.
This facility... Oh, I don't know that either. Damn it. You can just ask. Adjutant, do you have any way to do an off-world transmit?
I do have some limited transmission capabilities. The long-range array from the capital city used to be our relay out into space and has long since ceased to function. What would be the purpose of said transmission? Do you need to...
like the captain said, we don't have a ride and we need to call our friends, right, Captain?
Yes. Our shuttle got damaged on when we first landed, and we currently don't have any way to get off the planet, with the exception of our ship that is in system, just on a different planet collecting fuel.
And she pauses for a second, Alliance heavy fighter fill the role? That is something you guys would be familiar with. It's a technology from the Alliance, and yes, it would.
Yes, that would absolutely fill the role.
There is a crashed Alliance heavy fighter that is in salvageable condition, approximately 1.3 kilometers north of the facility.
Well, hot damn, Dr. Kathy. That's the way to get off this rock. I wish I had known that about 2 months ago, let me tell you.
It would have been difficult for you to get past all of the sentries I have now directed not to kill you.
Well, that's true, too. Man, I'm glad you're on our side now. I'm going to go ahead and pack up the sniper rifle.
Okay.
Alright, so it sounds a whole lot like we're gonna go kill some.
We're gonna go flush the system.
Scourge thingies.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go do some healing thingies, and then we're gonna get out of this building and then blow up this building and go get a spaceship and fly off the front.
The Miss Kathy, the self-destruct, is that a timed thing or is it remote, or how can you set that up?
Once I've determined that there's no chance of any of the dangers of this facility escaping, and you have cleansed the appropriate labs, shutdown procedures will be initiated, and then the reactor's coolant pumps will be shut off. Within a short order of time, this building will become so incredibly irradiated that nothing could possibly survive, and once the core breaches fully, there will be some small explosion when the radiation and heat breach the liquid fuel pods. It will not be instantaneous, but it will be significant.
Wow.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah, Captain, let's go flush the system.
Alright, so are we splitting the party?
I think so.
Yep, looks like.
Okay, so I'll do Aiden's part first, because it's the room I haven't revealed.
Okay.
Oh, also, she's gonna take that picture with her, because you've unlocked her humanity. You've done things. So,
oh no.
As you guys, as Aiden and the doctor come into the med bay, you notice a whole series of low berths. These low berths are unoccupied at the moment. However, 2 of them have the mummified remains of individuals. Sorry, 3 of them have the mummified remains of individuals of them. Luca is on one of the biobeds, completely unconscious. And Aiden would see all of this, and she will wave to one of the biobeds and say, please, have a seat.
Okay.
As you lay down on the bed, many different manipulator arms and scanners will come up in you. It's technology far beyond anything you have ever seen before. And it immediately starts shooting you with these little, like, green lasers. And, you know, green beams are good, right? Because with sci-fi rules. And you're going to immediately recover 6 hit points. As the beams, like, they come across areas where, like, you've been hurt, your big gaping chest wound, it goes over that, and you can visibly see flesh healing.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
And as you say that, she's going to be like, please don't move. I don't want to accidentally seal your lungs.
Oh,
And that's going to be what's going to go on in there for a minute. Okay, now back to the other 2 guys.
Yeah, going down the hallway.
You guys basically have the solutions to the puzzles. All you have to do is not screw it up. Now that I've said that, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, fact.
All right. So, Dr. Kathy said that gas would kill us if we do this wrong, so I'm going to do it real gentle-like. I'm going to step up to the control panel, and I'm in the root system, and there should be a button on here that looks like these little fucking spider bugs.
You're in the biological containment room right now.
I said spider bugs, not bees.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. So there's that.
Okay. So I click on that, and then I should get the 3 contextual buttons.
You do?
And now I know that the down arrow is eject, and I will not hit that button. I'm going to hit the kill button, which should be a circle with a lightning bolt through it.
Okay. You hit the circle with a lightning bolt through it, and it brings up pictures, schematics of the 4 Lobers, like they're buttons.
She said I had to do this individually, didn't she?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to hit one of them at a time.
Okay. As you hit it, it comes up with a, basically a green and a red button that are contextually, you're pretty sure it's "Are you sure?"
I've seen this go terribly wrong once before, but I'm going to hit the green button.
Hit the green button, and a hose in one of the low bursts starts ejecting some sort of liquid into it, and the specimen inside basically starts to melt as the tank fills with this liquid. A progress bar on your computer terminal fills to completion and then dings and pops you back to the menu. One of the cryo tubes is now reading red, and the other 3 are green.
All right. Select the next one, the next green one.
Okay. As you repeat the process, individually, one at a time, you are able to do this. The only things left in the tubes appear to be the cybernetic components, which are simply floating in what you are assuming is some sort of incredibly corrosive acid.
And they're just chilling.
They don't move at all because they're in low birth, so like they're not conscious.
No, I just meant that the cybernetics isn't melting, so.
Oh no, it's not melting. It's completely intact. It's just floating there. Well, I actually probably would sink to the bottom. But you don't trigger the failsafe. That's the important part. There is still this is still a specimen though on the surgical table.
Well, I'm doing the low birth thing. You want to go over there and deal with that?
Yep.
So you come up to the specimen table, and there are a bunch of extra buttons and schematics, but there is a symbol that looks like the kill command.
I'm gonna push the kill command.
Okay. You push the kill command, and this one works a little bit differently.
Cool.
So little like arms come up from the bottom and seal the specimen inside of a steel container. And then you watch through sensors as it starts to slowly, basically coffee grind every piece of biological material. As the yellow sac that I referred to earlier, laying on the table, hits it, it explodes in a corrosive acid. And you can hear the sizzling of the acid against the inside of the specimen container. And little yellow lights start coming up on each of the parts where the yellow acid has hit the outside of the container.
Damn.
It's still sizzling, and the yellow lights are getting more intense.
Was there anything on the panel itself?
The holographic panel, no. I mean, it's obviously trying to warn you of something. It's getting very, very insistent and annoying with its beeping.
And can I hit it to stop it, or?
Run, man, run.
All right, let's do this running thing.
All right, give me a. We're gonna do a dexterity or an athletic strength check. It can be either one.
Dexterity.
Him or both of us?
Both. You have to have finished all the tubes before he has to run out the door.
Oh shit.
So, like, he walked over there when you were halfway through. The
Yeah.
question is, did you finish?
I got an 11.
That's good. What about you?
Nine.
All right, you both
9.
made it. So you hit the button to flush the last one, and you're like, dude, look at this. And you look over, and you can see, like, molten pieces of the containment vessel starting to
Right.
fall off. And Holmes is just running by you. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna take off too. Run after him.
the
Get
scanner sees that both of you are clear. The door closes, and then you hear klaxons and spraying noises in the room and realize that you just narrowly missed whatever was filling those tubes, filling that room with you in it.
Shh.
No one
That
saw
was-
anything.
You and I are professionals.
Back.
All right. Well, let's go back in there looking like heroes. Oh, you know what? We could do the storage thing right now.
Yep. Get the kill codes.
I'm gonna have to strip down again.
I will help
So
you out.
I don't break my vac suit. And then cold chattering teeth, I walk over here and hit the terminal.
Huh?
Oh shit. You got the data wafer. I gave it to you. Can I have that back?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll run back over here. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, I should be in root system, and there should be a bunch of buttons. Oh, here's the B's. So I hit B's, and then I get the 3 contextual buttons here, and I want to hit the one with 2 squares with the dots where it says download to external. And I'm going to click that button. Did anything new pop up?
So the contextual button only comes up when you select a bay.
Oh, right.
And she
Oh,
gave you very
shit.
specific instructions of which ones you needed.
I go back to the root system, and I look for the wavy lines for logs.
Okay. You pull up the logs, and it has a invoice, for lack of a better term, and along with a bunch of attached files. One of those files has the kill symbol on it.
I never had her teach me dates, so I don't know if this is ordered correctly.
Remember, it's the stuff for the ones that aren't there.
Yeah.
So make sure we don't eject any of them that are in the.
Right. I'm in the logs right now. There's no eject button right here.
Now, you
But there
pretty
is-
much the only thing you can do from the logs is download.
Okay. I'm gonna download.
Okay. a little progress bar starts filling up. It takes a surprisingly short amount of time considering the amount of data it must be downloading, because you're pretty sure you just hit the download everything button.
Oh shit. Okay. Badoop.
And the cassette pops out.
All right. I'm gonna take the cassette. I'm gonna pocket it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna go to the bees.
Okay. You select the bees.
And then I'm gonna select a cassette.
Okay. You select a
Then I'm-
cassette.
Then I'm gonna hit kill.
You hit the circle with the lightning bolt then.
Yeah.
So you have to do these one at a time, but also remember she wanted it all killed. So you're gonna have to do more
Yeah, it
than
was
just
a
the
lot
bees.
of them, right?
So
Oh.
this is going to take a minimum, like if you're just chugging through it methodically, it's going to take 20 minutes. And as
Call over my shoulder, Captain. I think I'm gonna just do this. I don't remember if she said to do it right like this, but it's the safer way, right?
well, it's the only way. It doesn't let you select
Yeah.
multiple at a time.
Nope, one at a time. It is the only way.
So we're going to go back here to Aiden for a second. Aiden, you've been healed up for, your, I think it was 6 hit points.
Yes, sir.
Little laser bed thing finishes, and your chest is all patched up. Is there anything you wanna do while you're in here?
Oh, I need to. Taylor's still in here with me, right? So,
Taylor's dead at the
Luca.
door now.
oh, sorry, Luca. Gosh, sorry. Yep. So I would like to look around for any type of supplies that we need for us leaving.
Yeah, there's plenty of bags. She'll let you roam around. She's gonna wake Luca up. But she is gonna be like, you should be here, when he wakes up, since you are his teammate. He may be quite startled to see me.
Okay, so I'll stay here, but definitely, while he's getting woken up.
So she gives him an injection of some kind, and his eyes pop open, and he sits up with a start. He's like, fallen. Oh. Aiden, what happened? Where am I?
Hey, good morning, Luca. How you doing?
I was falling down an elevator shaft, and now I'm on a bio bed, and there's a strange robot.
Well, the strange robot actually healed you and fixed you up some bit, so that way you're not as busted up as you once were. It also did the same to me. I have a lot of things to catch you up on, but we can do that on the ride home.
And Dr. Kathy is like, indeed, it'll be an adventure, and starts walking off. And
oh, by the way, she's coming with us.
you guys can dig through these bags now if you want. Frank finishes a long 20-minute process of, pressing the same methodical buttons over and over again. But as soon as you kill the very last of the active nanobot
Cassettes?
things,
Yeah.
cassettes, the EM field shuts off.
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't expect that. Captain, you want to go check on our crew?
Yeah, let's go get everybody together.
Sweet, because I want some of that good loots.
Question: can we just snag everything in the medical bags, or do we need to pick and choose? Or
As long as you have the weight capacity to carry it, you can take as much as you want.
I was gonna say, I don't think I have any weight capacity. Like, my stuff's all blown out because of my.
Well, it's 10 of these items is 1 kilogram. So
Yeah, we can just take everything. I have a pretty good carrying capacity.
All right, cool. Snag it all.
nobody's going to ask about the mummified corpses.
Yeah, what's up with that? I kind of assumed that those were the head scientists that committed suicide.
2 of them are.
I'm gonna go look at them and investigate.
So as you walk over there, Winter Keeper or Dr. Kathy will be standing in front of one of them, one of the tubes, and it's pretty obvious, looking at the mummified remains, that that was her. And it looks different than the other two people in the cryo tubes in that there's all sorts of like steel protrusions and stuff that look like they were drilled into her head. It is also likely from the expression on her face that it was not a painless process to have her consciousness ripped out and stuck into a artificial construct.
Has that ever been like knowingly done before, or is that complete hubbub jubbub to Frank?
It's probably complete hubbub jubbub to Frank. However, it is not unprecedented in the Traveler universe.
Roger, roger. It's cool that she was going to do that to Luca.
In her mind, it's saving his life.
What would she have put him in?
Oh, she has another construct. It would be in the room. Like,
Okay.
There would be, like, on one of these biobeds would be another more blank and less customized version of basically what she is.
Does it look like that robot from iRobot? You know, like it's just kind of like a blank slate.
Yeah, I mean, slightly more human, but yes.
Well, Frank is walking around filling his pockets. Whatever you guys want to do. Just give me some time to fill these bags.
Don't forget Luca can take stuff too, because he is here.
Yes.
And his carry capacity is not great, but not terrible. He has an 11 kilogram capacity.
I can't carry much.
I think that this is probably the last thing we're going to do for the evening.
Oh, wow.
Because it is 11:59. So I will say that, you know, you guys fill your pockets and that she will activate the self-destruct from one of the terminals and you guys will ride the elevator to the surface. Unless there is some big thing that you want to do while you're in the facility.
Can you unlock this bag and hand it to me? Stuff in it.
And I could, but I also have bags for each of you.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Did Luca already grab some drone parts and stuff like that?
So he grabbed one of the drones with the unicycle of destruction that's on the surface.
Gotcha, okay. I figured he was going to want some toys, so.
I mean, I imagine he's going to want some of these meds at some point. You can just press G and it'll... There you go.
Yeah, all total, there's 50 of them, so that's 5 kilograms. I can hold the whole thing.
Excellent.
Good.
So yeah, we're going to call it there. That's midnight. What do you guys think? Was that... you guys did all of those puzzles without any combat. I mean, in a dungeon, obviously, there was combat on the surface, but like, that was very good. You didn't trigger. You didn't trigger a single booby trap.
I like that.
I was nervous, to be honest with you. Me and my 1 point. I was being very kind of gingerly walking around. So
I think technically we triggered the trap for this thing. I mean, it was going to get triggered no matter what. I think, but
so there wasn't really a right way to solve that. There wasn't a way to keep everybody from falling down the elevator shaft. Although my original plan was to split the party evenly. Like if Kizik had shown up, half of you would have fallen down the elevator shaft and woke up on biobed strapped down, and you would have had to go through a verbal sparring contest with the Winter Keeper. Basically, that check you made to convince her of humanity, you would have had to succeeded of that, or she was going to put you in robot bodies.
Oh man, Frank might have taken her up on that offer.
So, like, that was the original thing, and the other two were going to be trying to work their way through the facility to get to them, and we were going to be alternating back and forth. But since Kizik didn't show up, I didn't split it the same. I sent all 3 of you to the puzzles, and I had the social encounter just be her in her office. But it's fine. I think it worked out pretty well, even though we went a little unscripted.
I liked this episode a lot. I liked the
good.
tactics of the robot fight up top, and then the puzzles in here. It's top notch.
I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, I thank you all for stopping by, and I will see everyone on the stream next time.